Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. What an exciting day we've had today. Many gains today. Hopefully all of you made a lot of money. As I have said repeatedly, I'm here to provide the information, not to manipulate the stock. This is a news channel. This is a journalism channel, entertainment and facts, unbiased. That's my plan. That's my strategy to grow the most honest, real channel on YouTube TV. And that's what I'm doing. It's not about my gains. It's about the gains of you and the gains of the channel. What a day it's been today. We've seen Cyberspace go sideways, and as predicted, exactly as predicted, momentous today, 34% up. I said we would rank number 1 within 10 days. We actually ranked number 3 within 1 hour. We ranked number 2 on YouTube within about 18 hours. And now coming up to 24 hours, yes, incognito mode, we are now ranking number 1 on YouTube. And as expected, because the review and the analysis of the stock was great, in my analysis, if you haven't seen it yet, go and look at it. Exactly as predicted. There it is. Top channels for the search term on the YouTube homepage. Number 1. There we go. Top channels. Martyn Lucas Investor. Number 1. Very excited. Did not expect it to happen so quickly. I expected it within a week to 10 days, but there you go. It happened within 24 hours. Very good. And if you look, I own the top 2 spots, again, in incognito mode, so it doesn't know it's me looking. Momentous, number 1, and number 3. There we go. That was the live event earlier. We did a live premiere. So there you go. Very good, right? Excellent. And I've said strongly, I hope that you have taken profit from this, because the analysis was a buy, but be very careful. How far can it go up? I've no idea. You've made 40% in 24 hours. What you make on the S&P in 3.5, 4 years. Why not take a profit? That's all I'm saying. I'm sure nobody will listen to me. They'll just think it's going to go on forever and ever and ever. Well, nothing ever does. But 4 years of the S&P right there in 24 hours on that review. Fantastic. If you didn't see the review, go and check it out. There's the momentous analysis. I put it there for you. The information was there. Light plug, like all the others. Spot on again. But as I say, I don't benefit from this. I only benefit from providing the information, because I made the decision not to be in the stocks for integrity of the channel, and it's the right thing to do. I know many of you said, no, you should be in the stocks. You could make money. And I could, absolutely, easily. Like I've done for the last couple of years, but my priority is to you and growing the channel and being impartial. Look at the subscribers, just keeps rolling round and round and round. We're doubling our rate of growth every month, and my target is 10 million subscribers within a few years, which is more than Meet Kevin and Graham Stepan combined. And I honestly believe I'm going to get there. Anyway, there you go, because it's all about you, not about me. Right, let's have a look at Plug. Of course, Plug done the same thing. Plug's another one. We bought this at 225. We reported the analysis on it, and look at it, up 28% now, $4.81. What an amazing pump this is. And the same thing, strongly suggest that you take nothing runs forever. Yes, I suggested that. However, we've got Jerome Powell about to speak any moment now. And then, of course, we are covering it live, the FOMC report. That's why we're here today. Then you've got the earnings. The earnings will not substantiate this pump, I don't believe. I might be wrong. Don't think so, though. Pretty confident of that. Anyway, so there you go. Maybe you want to take profit here as well. Another 4 or 5 years of the S&P here in 24 hours. In fact, a little more than that, about 4 or 5 days, I think. Anyway, very good. Let's read the questions. Hi all. Henrik, Hi all, says Rallo1. Leah says, thank you very much, Rallo, for your super chat. We went out and we had coffee and like a breakfast snack. And that was on your $10 super chat. This evening, we're going to a Mexican restaurant. Leah wants to go to a Mexican restaurant, and she's excited about that. So thank you, Rallo1, for that earlier. Tea time, I'll check in later. Paul Knowles, see you in a bit. Plug again, 30%. Top of the range, 487. Look at this. If Sadu can make 18, MNTS can make 5. Hi all, Jeffrey Diamonds, H. Hi, hello everybody. Luna looking really good today. Hello all, Patrick G. Welcome, Patrick G. What an amazing day it's been today. I'm glad everyone's made money. Virgin Galactic's gone back up again. Excellent. Palantir is moving up. It's down, but it's moving up. Gold is falling away. The S&P. This is what I'm waiting for. I am waiting to buy the S&P at, because I don't buy individual stocks, as you know. I've got $99,000 available. Should we get a drop? Well, we have got a drop today, but it's not enough for me to add more at this level because I'm earning 5% on my uninvested cash. Amazon is down. Apple is down. NextEra Energy is flat. Enphase Energy, 110 now, going back up again. Look at this. Really, really great. Coca-Cola is flat today. J&J, it's a $200 stock. Keep saying it. Kenvue, down today. Chevron, down today. Tesla is recovering again, 191. It went down as low as 185. Looking good. Rivian moving up. McDonald's going down. Google down, being punished at the moment. All of these stocks I've said over and over again are all too expensive, and they lead the S&P. But I'm all in because I transferred my money from the stocks to the S&P to stay all invested. But that's why I'm holding my cash, waiting for bigger drops. I'm not just going to keep piling on the money at all-time highs. I mean, 5 years from now, I won't care, of course, but that's not really good strategy. You want to wait for a dip on that. Microsoft down. Walmart up today. Tilray rubbish, down again today. Robinhood up today, 11 at 11.04. IonQ too expensive. Rocket Labs doing well, 510. Plug, look at it now, 27% in a day. Oh, Mitch NL. That's how wonderful is that? Mitch NL, 22, is that dollars? That's euros for 2 tequilas tonight, Martyn. Well, that's very nice. I will show, Leah's watching the show, so she'll see that, I'm sure. She is working, so I apologize if she doesn't respond. Yeah, we're going to a Mexican restaurant tonight, and thank you ever so much. You have just bought the tequilas. How nice is that? Everybody, Mitch NL, how kind is that? Fantastic. Really, really kind of you. Appreciate that, sir, very much indeed. Leah will as well. Thank you very much. All right, we're coming up to the Jerome Powell's speech. We're going to find out what the rate is. We expect it to be the same, not move. Let's do a poll right now. Here we go in the chat. Rate hike. You ready? So we're going to go pause. We're going to go pause, cut, hike. There we go. Is it going to be a pause, same as before? Are we going to cut it, or are we going to hike it? I'll tell you what I'm also going to do. I'm going to put that on X as well.
For 2 tequila tonight, Martyn.
Thank you very much indeed. My wife Leah will very much appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you. Right. Let me do this now. So let's put this on X now. Let's put a poll there. Okay. So FOMC Fed. Hang on. Fed FOMC rate. And poll on X. Fed FOMC rate decision live and poll on X. live now on YouTube. Let's give you a vote so you can vote on it. There you go. Fed, FOMC, Martyn Lucas, investor. Let me just change that. There you go. Right, FOMC rate decision live and poll on X. Live now on YouTube. There is the information. Let me do that now. I'm just going to put it on X. I've just put it on stock twits. Do that first. Right, there it is. Now let's put it on X. Fed FOMC live and poll. I'll just put that. Okay. Let me share with you what I'm doing. Here we go. So we're going to do pause, cut, or hike. Okay. Really, there only need to do an hour. We don't need to do a day. 1 hour is fine. There we go. Okay. There we go. I've done that. I'll just put it on our Facebook page. I won't do Instagram now because it's only just a few minutes away, so there's no point doing that. By the time people watch it on Instagram, it would have already happened, so we're not going to worry about that too much. There you go. So I'll give everyone the link now. If you want to go and vote on this, I'll be interested to see what you think. Leonard Andrews, thank you ever so much indeed. Welcome to the show. Lovely to have you here. Where are you from? We've got a new guest. Would everybody please welcome Leonard Andrews into the show? I think he's new today. Right, let me give everybody the link right now. So here is the question. A cut. Somebody does and a hike. No one put pause yet. That's unusual. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that at all. I'm expecting a pause. And we've got a vote for cut and hike. That's unusual. Didn't expect that. So there's the poll right there. Let me give you the link to it. So there you go. There is the link. Let me give it to my audience on LinkedIn right now. So if you want to vote on our poll, will it be a rate cut, hike, or pause? There's my LinkedIn audience. Let me give it to my Kicksters. There's my Kick audience. What about Rumble? Let me just refresh the screen. Can you get one of those ads where I never earn any money? Don't know why. Okay, there's the poll. These ads run on my channel every day, and I've never made any money on Rumble. Don't know where the money goes to. I say it every day. I'll keep saying it. No one listens. It's like I'm doing a free service for Rumble. Anyway, so there's the vote for you. And let me refresh it on Twitch as well. Let me give my Twitch audience the poll, should you wish to vote. And Facebook, there you go. Let me give you the link there. All right, so I'll be interested to see what everybody thinks. So far, we've got a vote of pause, 62%. That's most certainly what I think is going to happen, but we shall see. We shall see. Anyway, plug power, just trimming off a little bit. People taking some profit, I'd expect that. Rallo1 says, you're very welcome. That's very, very kind of you. Very kind. 4.1 chance of a rate cut, 95 a pause, according to FedWatch. That's where I sit with it. But we shall see. You know, the Fed can surprise you I think it will go against every single metric, every single bit of information if they cut. Now, it's possible they could raise rates. Oh my gosh, it is possible. And if that happens, Plug would crash. So would Virgin Galactic crash. So would Momentous crash. I mean, it will be a big drop, but I don't see it at all. Just beware. You might want to set a limit order. If we get a 5-10%, I don't know, whatever number you want to put it, or a trailing loss, stop trail loss, you could do that. Pause for now, followed by a cut. That's pretty much what everybody thinks, which is really, really good. Hi, great show, Leonard Andrews. Would everybody please welcome Leonard? Bahamas. The Bahamas. The Bahamas. We have nobody. Is that the Bahamas is a country, right? Is it regarded as a country or a territory? Isn't it? Is the Bahamas a country? Because if it is, we can fly your flag. Is the Bahamas? I'm sure it's a territory. I've been there, of course. A country. The Bahamas, officially the Commonwealth, is an island country within the archipelago of the West Indies. Is an island country. It is a country within the Lucian archipelago of the West Indies. Yep, it's a country. It is a country, so it is regarded as a country. So let's have a look. If it's a pause, would be negative. Would it? Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Oh, is it a pause? If it's a pause, would it be negative? No, not at all. A pause is fine. But we're always going to get a reaction whatever happens because people are like speculating into it. We've got 15 minutes before we announce it. Okay. Nassau, Bahamas. Yes, I've been there. To the big pink hotel and all the dolphins and all the rest of it. Yeah, Leonard Andrews. So I'm going to invite you to become a member of our channel. We have 57 countries around the world represented. We do not have the Bahamas, so you get many perks as a member. You can call into the show, be on the show. I can do polls for you, review stocks for you, make videos specifically for you. Members only live chats, members only live streams, commemorate your birthday. We got so many prizes, so many things that you get as a member, but also you will fly the flag for your country. We have members in 57 countries. These are all the countries here, and we don't have a flag for the Bahamas. So yes, you would be our 58th country if you become a member. Let me give you the invitation to become a member, and then I can upgrade everything for you, should you wish to do so. It's only a couple of bucks. It's not about making me rich at all. It's verifying you. It supports the live show. Live shows don't make me any money. It's not about that. I'm trying to provide the best, most honest live TV show in the world. That's my aim. Been sitting here for 2.5 years to grow this channel, and I'm here up to 10 hours a day. So there you go. Anyway, let's see if he does. Bring the champagne from the fridge because Virgin Galactic is up today. Let's have a look. Virgin Galactic, yes, 4.75. Very nice indeed. Raman, want to vote for you to do the marketing of Virgin Galactic. Want to vote for you to do. We've already had that vote, Mitch and L. That's very, very kind. If you don't mind, I won't do it again because we've done it recently. But thank you for the suggestion. You can have your own poll, but we have done it recently. So if that's okay. If they raise rates, it's hasta la vista with the 2023 gains. Absolutely right. A sudden cut would be bearish too. It means they know something we don't. Markets need stability. Another pause is good. I absolutely agree with that, and that's what we're hoping for. I'm hoping that we'll get a sell-off anyway, not because of the rate, but what he says at the meeting, which will be half an hour after the rate. That's what I'm interested in. That's when we can make money buying the dips. Okay, so Cider Space is now coming up. Momentous, exactly as we said, it's been going up all day. For those of you who missed the beginning of the video, we now rank literally within the first 24 hours, number one incognito on YouTube. Look at that. There's the first video, the second video, and there we go. Look at that. It was number 3 yesterday, number 2 this afternoon, and number 1 tonight. I can't believe it. It's grown so quickly in a day. There you go. Look at that. And I said when our video would rank, then the stock would go up because the review was good. The news was good today. It couldn't have gone better, actually. The timing was perfect. Just luck, really. But anyway, there it is. Thought I'd share that with everybody today. Okay. If I told you that the plan for the world is intention capital destruction and to relieve us all of our capital, would you believe it? World Economic Forum, you will own nothing and be happy. Well, I don't own any shares and I'm perfectly happy. My focus is building the audience. Bahamas is a country. Yep. So if he becomes a member, he can fly the flag. If rate increase, everyone's going to get to the chopper. Muma Horick, hello Martin, how are you? Welcome Leonard, there we go. Nice welcomes in this afternoon. Named after Willem III Van Orange, Nassau. Niels, thank you for that. A bit of history, good stuff. Mitch NL, really, said Niels, sold my stocks, regrouping. Country Leonard, yep. I've been there. I just never really thought about it because a lot of these small islands are actually territories, not countries. But there you go. Sidhu is also doing well today. It's only 1% down. Martin, do you have more on account on Rumble? Do you have more than one account on Rumble? I see 3. There is my... When you set up Rumble, there's yourself. There's yourself, right? I don't put anything on myself, okay? Then there's Martyn Lucas, the music channel, and then there's Martyn Lucas Investor, this channel. Just like everywhere else, it's the branding across every platform is the same. Space surprising me today. Virgin Galactic up 3.91. Jerome knows the market has priced in cuts in March. There's no way they hike. Well, we'll find out in 8 minutes. 8 minutes. 8 minutes. I have to... can't buy for 3 months. I messed up. I'd love to know what happened there, Ed Spitzer. Been asking now. You either didn't take care of a margin, you either got flagged for pattern day trading, which I've been telling you how to avoid, and now they won't let you trade, or you've transferred money and there wasn't money available in the account, so they flagged you for that. I don't know. It's one of those 3 things, I think. Anyway, Virgin Galactic's going up. Let's have a quick look and look at our poll this afternoon. This is looking interesting, as we expected. In fact, it's not unanimous. Look, we've got 53 votes, a hike 18.9%, a cut 32.1%, and a pause of 49%. So let me give you the link if you've not yet voted. I've given the link to all of my audiences, wherever you're watching me. It's in the chat. Okay, so make sure that you vote. If you want to ask Virgin Galactic a question, it is on one post on my X account, and you can reply to that. Okay? And leave me your thoughts. I will put your questions tomorrow to Eric. So anyway, Martin, how do you see Fisker going up or keeping the current value? I would need to reassess it. I'm not sure right now. I'd have to look at it again. I reviewed the stock a few weeks ago. If you've not yet seen my report, go on my channel, look on Alpha Spread Reviews, and you'll find it. Or go to the top and just type in, like I'm showing you now. This is how you do it. So you go Martyn Lucas, and then go FSR. I always use the tickers as well to make it easy. FSR, and then you will see my review right there. Okay, there's my review. So that's what I thought of it when I looked at it then. That was 4 weeks ago, but that's still very relevant. And you might like to top channels for this search term. Yep, there's me again. We're ranking for everything at the minute. I discovered the other day that I now rank for the word stock, which is why my channel is growing really quick now. I actually rank for the word stock, which is amazing because it's a single word. So, you can imagine I'm ecstatic about that. Anyway, if it's all about how hard you work, if you keep working harder than anyone else, keep doing more than anyone else, you can't be beaten. I just won't give up, and I just keep on going and building and building and building, and let no one else gets a look in now. Right. I've said I day traded too much. It's fine. No, Jeff, already done it. Okay. Turn on pattern day trading or increase your limit to 25,000. Then you can trade as much as you want. Ed was trying to hack Robin Hood, therefore a penalty of 3 months. Yeah, that probably would do it. I just followed you on Rumble. Oh, thank you very much, Patrick. Here's me on Rumble right now. Yeah, this is my Rumble show right now. This is me on Rumble. There you go. I'm live right now. This is for Patrick G, who's following me on Rumble. Right, we've got a few seconds to go. We're going to get the rate hike any second now. I say any second. It's 3.5 minutes. So we're listening in here into Bloomberg, and we're also looking at the rates here. But we are expecting a 5.5, as you can see here. There it is. It will come up on the screen here in just a few seconds. That's what we're looking for. Now you'll be getting my opinions like Martyn. I'm not in the stocks I'm talking about for a while. I took this chance. Sidhu would recover, but now I regret not following my previous opinion. Fisker is too big to fail. Virgin got to $5 now that I'm out. Just watch. If Fisker gets orders from their recent dealers open house, I can see it going up. Ed, the market is just full of regrets and missed opportunities, along with the odd lucky break. Exactly. Wondering why Rocket Lab isn't going hard today after a successful mission. Yeah, very hard to understand, isn't it? 2 minutes ago, I have it made me buy. Just wondering if buy more FSKR now or hold. Thanks anyway. You're the man. Vaz, you're very welcome. If you become a member of my channel, I don't think you are, I will do a new review for you. I'll be back in the market in April. Work smart, not hard. I don't have $25,000. That's fair enough. My Robinhood account is cash only. It forces me to be patient. That's another way. That's another way of doing it. Stock ITM Power worth a look. Says Paul Knowles. I have over 25,000, still get pattern day trading skip. Not sure why it still warns me. It's regulations. They have to warn you, but it doesn't matter. If you get marked as a pattern day trader, it doesn't matter. You can trade as many times as you like. However, you will lose some perks and benefits from doing it. It was done by the government to protect people from gambling. That's why it's there. It doesn't matter if you're a pattern day trader. Day traders on Wall Street trade billions of times a day. Not literally, but it doesn't matter. It just means you won't be able to do uninvested cash. It means you won't be able to do stock lending. There's a few things you can't do, but don't worry about it. It only restricts you if you're under $25,000. If you are over that, it doesn't. But you can turn on pattern day trading or be like me. I've got 25,000. I've got pattern day trading turned on just because I don't want to lose uninvested cash. I don't want to lose other things, other perks and benefits, only because I can show you all. Can you make a margin mug? Yes, I can. You want a margin mug? Make a margin mug. If you would buy one, I would make it for you. There you go. Make a margin mug. I avoid losses. I'm fine with my decisions. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Here we go. Rate hikes coming up. Then we got Jerome Powell speaking live on the show. Here we go. That's ready to rock and roll. Here is the report. Okay, here we go. Watching closely in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's the rates going to be? Any second now, it will refresh on the screen. 5.5. It's 5.5. It's unchanged. 5.5, and the markets are going down. There we go. The markets are going down. Look at that. Here we go. We can buy the S&P in a minute. Lovely. Oh, no, it stopped. It started to go, but it's no surprise today. So this shouldn't be a major reaction, but it's what he says at the meeting is important. Right, so there you go. The rates are the same. They haven't moved. Now let's get some reaction and let's have a listen in. Here we go. It's what he says now, though.
And the statement drops the reference to additional policy firming, now saying, quote, in considering any adjustments to the target range, the committee will carefully assess incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. But before you buy March futures, the statement goes on to say, the committee does not expect it will be appropriate to reduce the target range until it has gained greater confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward 2%. Officials say the economy is solid, job gains remain strong, and the committee judges that risks to achieving its employment and inflation goals are moving into better balance. Inflation, however, has eased over the past year but remains elevated, the statement says. The economic outlook is
there we go.
And the committee
high-risk stocks are selling off. Plug is going down.
Inflation risk.
Virgin Galactic's going down.
To balance sheet policy, nor does
Momentous hasn't moved yet.
Any changes are imminent.
To do
will keep
going
the $60
down.
billion cap on Treasury roll-offs and the
Hood
$35
down.
billion cap on mortgage bonds. The decision today, unanimous. And one other bit of business, the Fed has extended its tighter policies on investment and trading to senior staff and any staff with access to confidential information.
Mike McKee, thank you, sir. Let's get to the price action immediately and look at equities. Equities on the S&P 500 just a touch lower by almost 1% on the S&P. On the Nasdaq, we're down by 1.4. If you just turn to the bond market briefly, yields were lower by about 10 basis points to the front end. Now 425.61. That move faced just a little bit. So, Lisa, let's go through what we got here. We've dropped the tightening bias, but not a full embrace of the rate cut conversation taking place on Wall Street.
And there's a little bit of disappointment, clearly, that you can see on the front end with people maybe thinking they would lean into a March rate cut, saying not thinking anytime soon, highly attentive to inflation risks. That focus may be casting a bit of cold water on some of the hopes and dreams.
The TK down 5 basis points on the 10-year, just short of 4% here at about 3.98.
Right, this is perfect. It's exactly what I planned for. I'm ecstatic with this. We got exactly what we thought, but now, of course, now we've got the Fed Jerome Powell speech. The speech will be in 28 minutes. So if you've just tuned in, the speech will be in 28 minutes. So I'm going to put a timer on the screen. Let me put a clock up here. And I will edit this. Let me edit it live as you're watching it. And this will be countdown to a time every day. This will be to 1:30. 1:30. This is when Jerome Powell will speak. Let me save it. There you go. That's when he will speak, and that's important. It's the tone that we get from Jerome Powell. We've got exactly what we asked for, exactly what we planned for, exactly what we budgeted for, and now this is perfect because now I'm going to be able to buy the S&P because we know that rates are going down in the summer. That's good. So now all I've got to do is wait for a good trigger. I've got $99,000 to buy. My buying power is ready to rock and roll. We're all set. Here's my buying power. Look, $99,000 waiting to buy. It's going down exactly like we'd hoped. So this is perfect. Very relaxed, very calm, very easy way to make money. Remember, it's easy to make money. The hard part is to keep it. Now, we've got a really big audience this afternoon. It's going to be a really explosive meeting. I'm really excited about it now because I think I'm going to be able to buy dips. Virgin Galactic is going straight back down again, exactly like I said it would. We've also got Plug now selling off, exactly like I said it would. Momentous, we said would go up today, just like this. I do expect it to sell off though, but maybe it's because it's so low, it's going to keep on going for a while. But I do expect that to also go down. It hasn't really sunk in yet. Remember, it's a very small cap. Not a lot of people are paying that much attention to it. Sidhu is now going back down again. So this is great. Exactly as we said. I hope you all took profit from Plug. Plug is now vastly overbought. I know it's a $10 stock, but it's too early for this price. We've got the earnings around the corner. So for me, this is an opportunity to sell and make 50% if you bought it with us. Virgin Galactic, it's dropped, but it's holding. So what we're looking for now is a drop in the S&P, people trading out Google and Microsoft and be able to buy the dip. All right. Now, if it doesn't go low enough, I won't be buying it. I've already got 98% of my money in the S&P. All I've got, 100%, 98% of all my money, in the S&P. The rest can earn 5%, and I'll just hold it. And in a few months' time, I'll have $10,000, and I might start buying in at that point. Anyway, let's have a bit of fun now. Let's get everybody. Let's get everybody to, can I go over to this screen here? Yes, here we go. Let's see if we can get 100 likes on today's show. It's going to be a busy show today. Are you ready? All right, smash the like button. Let's get everybody involved. If you are new, come on into the chat and say hello. So how many have we got watching right now? We've got 117 watching. Thank you very much indeed. Welcome to all of you. Lovely to have you here for the ride. And let's see how many likes we got. Here we go. The most we can get is about 60. It's only 50% of people are signed in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have now got 36. All right, we can do better than that. There's 36 right there. I think we can get about 60. Because unfortunately not everyone is signing on into Google. They're just invisible people. I don't know why people do that, but they do. Right, you ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 36 is now 42. Let's go to 60. I'm sure we can do 60. The S&P is dropping nicely now. Jerome Powell speaks in 22 minutes. There it goes. It's going down, down, down. I'm waiting to buy it. Thank you very much. I want it to go down another couple of percent. It probably won't. But if it doesn't matter. I'll just hold my cash, earn 5.25%. When the rates come down and it doesn't earn 5.25%, then there's no point me holding it. I'll just buy the S&P at that point. You ready? Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 42 is now, we're looking for 60. 50. We've got 97 now watching. So that's about as many as we're going to get now. I'm going to do it one more time. I reckon I get 51. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bosh. No. Go on. 51. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bosh. No, it's not going to let me have it. Right. Okay, fair enough. I give up on that. Not a problem. All right, let's get back to the S&P and see what's happening, and let's look at everything else. So we've got the markets going down at the moment. Virgin Galactic did trim off. Still green, no. Palantir going down. Gold. The S&P going down. Waiting to buy it. Amazon going down. Amazon going down. Next year Energy going down. Enphase Energy going down. Anything that requires a rate decision, high debts will go down today. Coca-Cola, J&J, Kenvue, Chevron, Tesla back down, Rivian going down, McDonald's going down, Google going down, Microsoft. These are going down because they're too expensive and they're overbought anyway. No one's buying them at these levels. There's no point. Tilray, rubbish, going down. Robinhood going down. IonQ down. Rocket Lab down. Plug Power going down. Rumble going down. Funware, it's holding up. FFIE trying to come up. That's not good for them either. So it's gone down 2.5%. Not good for them. Rio Tinto, Bitcoin up today, 1.23. Polygon down 1.17. XRP. We got Sensei in the chat today. Let's have a look. Sensei is here. Lovely to have him here. Let's have a look at his comments. Come on, Space. Let's hit the mid 170s. Jesper Carstens. Hello to Jesper Carstens. Got a new guest here today. Welcome to you. Puts on plug Af Gorilla. Rates are paused. Yes. So what do we know? I missed the first part. Anything new about the rates? Yes, rates are paused, but they're sort of threatening to raise the rates again, maybe. So that's why we're getting this drop. It's perfect. I'm very, very happy with that. That's what I want to see. As you can see, we're trying to push down, which is good. I like it. That's what I want to happen. All right, let's go back to plug and see what it's doing. It's going back up again at Virgin Galactic. We've got 19 minutes to go. Let's get some reaction and see what everyone's saying about it.
Growth continuing in 2024. And, it's a cop-out. The Fed gets to be able to react and be data dependent, and Rich is absolutely right about that. But that's what they're going to do. They're looking at a meeting-by-meeting basis. And I think, we'll have
Yes, there was news, and I put it out on the video today. Raman, good news to plug today.
Side of it is also really important because the markets really want to take off and put a lot more cuts in than the Fed is really willing to do.
It was a really bizarre sequence to have the chairman engage in a conversation about interest rate cuts, then New York Fed President John Williams come out and say, not really talking about rate cuts, and then the minutes seem to back up Williams and not Powell. Diane, we'll let it go. Let's see if they repeat it again. I think, Diane, today there's a feeling they are going to engage in a conversation.
I always have more likes than viewers
about the
on my
timing
show.
of interest
Beat
rate
that.
reductions. Do you think they need to draw a clear distinction between adjusting rates and easing policy?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm sure Rich would agree with me. I mean, this is removing the restriction, but not trying to stimulate the economy. And I think that's very important. They're trying to normalize rates. They're not trying to stimulate a moribund economy. And that's a very different scenario, as Rich pointed out, from a soft landing and what may be, at the moment, an extremely soft landing. We also know that, we're kind of coming in really strong in the first quarter on consumer spending. Even with January and some weather disruptions, you don't need much consumer spending for it to be very robust in the first quarter. And that's something the Fed's very attentive to right now as well.
So in the press conference, most certainly, Rich, there's going to be someone who comes up and asks Fed Chair Jay Powell, so how much did you guys talk about rate cuts? Did you throw out dates? Did you throw out what your criteria are? If you were on the Fed, what would you hope he would say? How granular should they be, given the fact that people know they're talking about it? They have to be talking about it. Everybody else is talking about it. How much do they really telegraph to the market?
All right, that'll do for the minute. We're waiting now. Momentous is still going up. We're going to wait. We've got about 17 minutes to go. That's when it gets really, really interesting. So stand by. It's going to get very interesting in 17 minutes' time. That's when Jerome Powell speaks. Let's thank you, Bez, for your subscription. Let's have a quick look on the subscribers this afternoon. It's been a really great week. We had our fastest week. It actually took just under 2 weeks to gain 1,000 subscribers. And we're growing faster every month. We're doubling our rate of growth every month. 15,047. Look at that. Absolutely brilliant. So there we go. We had a few, we all know what happened. Last night there was 100 subscribers that came in and 100 subscribers that went out just after the show. We all know what happened there. This is now real subscribers. Some people like to play games, set up fake accounts and play silly buggers. That's what happened there last night. We all know it. So there we go. It happens every time you hit a milestone. Some people decide to build things in life. Some people can't build anything, so they like to destroy people who are. It's just the nature of the game, just like the stock market. Some people buy, some people sell. Without the shorters, without the sellers, there's no buyers. So you need the uneducated clowns to do stuff like that. That way, it gives me something to do. It's just the way it works. Sidhu coming back up. How do you do? Sidhu, how do you do? Let's have a little look. Yes, it is. Very, very quickly. Very, very nice indeed. Sidhu is coming up quickly as well. Good luck, Ed. Higher than my sale. I'm terrible at this. Wait a minute. I'm going to make it 16,000 subscribers. I know. Yeah, what people do, some people buy subscribers. It costs them money. Daft thing to do. What some people do is what happened last night. And what's really crazy is I live and breathe YouTube. So I study numbers like the back of my hand. I really do see the numbers. And I know where they come from. I know exactly. And I watch a lot of things incognito so people don't know I'm there. And what they do, they create rooms on Reddit and other places like that. And they get a little gang together and they say, right, at 3 o'clock today, we're all gonna subscribe exactly 3 o'clock to Martyn Lucas's channel, and just because he's reaching a milestone, and then we'll all drop it. So what they do is they create 100 fake accounts, and they all do it, and then they just go subscribe, and it literally popped exactly 100 within seconds, and then during the evening they went away again. I'm glad they enjoy doing it. Of course, if you do that, you get your accounts flagged, you get your accounts shut down by Google, it damages your reputation online. All sorts of stuff happen to you when you do that, and some people, that's how they live. Never been like that myself, don't see the point, but that's what happened last night. But now what we have is actually real subscribers and real views. It happened when we did 10,000. They tried to keep me below 10,000 for about a week. Do you remember? And now they're doing it at 15, and they'll be back at 20. Exactly the same. I'll be back with a lot of money in April. Just kidding. I know you were kidding, mate. I'm just saying. A lot to me. Yes, DWAC and Luna are my golden tickets for February. We've got a review to do on DWAC. That's my next review. Right. Talking of reviews, momentous is Ranvir Lavosia in the chat. Ranvir Lavosia. Lavosia, are you here? Is John Granfor in the show as well? John Granfor, are you here? John Granfor and John Granfor and Ranvir Lavosia. If you are in the chat, let me know. We don't talk about it, Sensei Crypto. What's going on here? I'm telling you guys right now, inevitable. Nothing is inevitable in the stock market. Nothing is inevitable. Because just when you think you're doing well, somebody will come along and say, no, you ain't. It's just the way it goes. A balanced portfolio, education, patience. You know what your objectives are. Stick to it. Let the rest of the world run around like headless chickens. Don't get involved. You know what you want, stick to the plan. That's exactly what I'm doing. Virgin Galactic's gone back down again. Palantir down. Gold is up today. The S&P is dropping. I've got 2.56 now. I'm up $1,000 now. I could buy more now because the market is consistently doing well. We've got rate cuts coming. We've got Google and Microsoft, which are some of the biggest parts of the S&P, down 6% on Google and down 1.67 on Microsoft. So, and also we've got other things down as well. Tesla's risen today, but it's still down over the last few weeks. Since I started buying the S&P. So what about Apple? How's Apple performing? Apple's also down. So I might not get much more of a discount. I might not. So it's not worth using margin because I'm actually up slightly than where I was when I came in. I'm up 2.53. But remember, over time, you're always going to be paying more because you can't buy the S&P what it was 20 years ago. There's no point waiting for that. You'll be waiting around forever. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait a bit longer because I'm earning 5% on uninvested cash. It's great having some money on standby. But 3 weeks from now, I will have some more money. So, I've got, it's not worth using margin, but it's certainly worth using my cash around about now, but not worth using the 99,000. I've got about $4,000. Look, see, I'm up 2.5%. So I could buy the S&P now, but I would rather wait. I think I'll wait till the after hours or the early morning, because remember, you can trade 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the S&P. That's one thing. And what's likely to happen during the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, we'll get a correction. We'll get a little bit of a drop, and I could have a $4,000 limit order ready to go and add to my position. So that's that. Depending on the tone of Jerome Powell, that's probably what I'll do. Anyway, Fed says it needs more confidence inflation is slowing before cutting rates. That's right. How can we forget the 10,000 subs? Oh, yeah. I'm not coming on. A week later, still not coming. When's he coming on? Oh, that was awful, wasn't it? Sensei. And that was my first introduction to the SAD Brigade. The SAD Brigade, those that sit in their dark rooms trying to destroy someone else's hard work. I will say, in all seriousness, there are people who have taken their own lives on YouTube because they're not so good at dealing with it. They work really, really hard and they build something and then others destroy it. And it really, there are people who have really, been really upset over it. And I get upset with it, but I can deal with it. I'm getting better at it. But there was others that have taken their own lives over it. So it's a horrible thing in this world. We have this sort of thing, but we do. And it is what it is. Martyn, would you be able to do analysis for Walmart, please? I have liked the stock for a while, and they will be splitting 3-for-1 on February, as well as adding 150 large format stores. Mark Saxby, of course. Mark Saxby. Oh, Mark Saxby, we were talking about trolls earlier and parody accounts. Mark Saxby's aware, because Mark Saxby is following, one of my members here is actually following the Martyn Lucas Investor parody account on X. And I've asked them today, politely, to remove my logo, because I don't mind people doing parodies and, poking fun at me as, at my expense. I don't mind if that's what makes them happy. Carry on. But you can't use my trademark logo. So I've asked them to remove it. See if they do. If they don't, I'll just have the account taken off X, because as a verified account, I can do that. If they want to use my logo and try to steal intellectual property, I can have it removed. And I've asked them politely. Let's see if they respond. But Mark Saxby, I noticed that you're a follower of theirs. You're watching what they're doing. Anyway, Mark Saxby, let me write that down. 7 minutes ago. Okay, so here we go. WMT, Walmart, and that is Mark Saxby. Don't listen to me, I'm bad at this, says Ed Spitzer. We don't talk about it, Sensei. Guy as Harry Potter's spell name. Let's have a look. Space will bounce back for the last flight this year. Well, again, that's another thing. On Reddit, they're saying Martyn Lucas is wrong. He said there's a flight in March. It's actually in April. Well, it's actually in March. At least that's what Eric Kearney told me personally. And I'm going to speak to Eric tomorrow about that. Eric Kearney has said it's in March. So, but then again, you could decide to use Reddit as your channel of information, or you could ask me to ask the investor relations manager who works at Virgin Galactic what the deal is, and that's what he told me. So if you want to know the actual information, you can do that. So here is the question to Virgin Galactic. If you want to leave a comment here, this is where we are giving you the information to ask for Virgin Galactic's questions. Here it is. Let me go down to it. Here it is. Here is the post. We have 5 questions for Eric at the moment. If you want to leave a question, it is I have my weekly meeting with Eric, Investor Relations, Virgin Galactic, on Thursday, February the 1st at 12 p.m. Central Time, which is tomorrow. Leave your questions to Eric in the comments below. So I've given you the link in the chat. You can go here because last time we had comments everywhere and it was complicated. Now we have them all in one place. So if you want to leave your comments to Eric, your questions for Eric, Virgin Galactic, that is where you do it. All right. So you have a voice if you want it, or if you choose to do your research in Reddit, then you can do it that way. The choice is yours. Anyway, space will bounce back. Warren Buffett is consistently kicking my ass this week, says Niels. Ed, I heard that she isn't dropping yet in case Trump is ineligible. I'm not sure what that is. I think we've got a request here. If she gives up, it's a boom. When Ed 100, I'm going to marry Margin one of these days. Get in Ramen. The parody account, so sad, liked and followed. Niels, yes. If you want to follow it, help yourself. Have you seen it? I'm not going to share it on the screen. It's a lot of false information and Mickey taken out of me, and it's fine. You know, it's fine. They want to have fun with that. I wish them the very, very best. Just don't steal intellectual property and pretend to be me, because that's deceiving the audience. Nothing else to do. MNTS beta is 12,600. Ha ha. Amira. Where are you from in England, mate? Cornwall. I'm from Cornwall. Trader Joey. How are you, Trader Joey? Right, G. Corey.
Can you review SPXU ETF?
An ETF. G. Corey, I can't review ETFs. The software that I use only reviews stocks, not ETFs. So of course I can show you it, but I'm not going to be able to do a full deep dive on it. The software that I use, because of the way it looks, is clear and concise, is for stocks. It's not for ETFs. So if you want me to do a basic look at it, very, very happy to do so. Just confirm whether you do, or you've given me a wonderful super chat, which bumps it up to the top with the other super chatted reviews, and then perhaps you can choose a stock. If you want me to do it, it will be limited, but I'm happy to do it on a basic level. But there's not much information I can get using the software that I have, so I will just check with you. Thank you, Martyn, for Walmart. Not following anyone, mate, as I didn't realize I was until your post. Didn't realize I was until I saw your post today. Thank you, Martyn, for your Walmart. Not following any more, mate. As didn't realize I was until I saw your post. Oh, right, okay. You're not following any more. That's okay. If you want to follow him, help yourself. It's called Martyn Lucas Parody. Anyway, not following anymore, as didn't realize I was until I saw your post today. Evening all. I'm just joking. Haven't seen it yet. Oh, okay. Fair enough. You're skimming over good info on DWAC. You're skimming over good info. I'll check now. Aside from space, what's your favorite stock? Aside from space, I mean, the S&P technically isn't a stock, of course. Tesla's a great company. Enphase is a great company. Next to Energy is a great company. Rocket Lab, I think. There you go. Right, 1 minute 23. Let's take the timer off the clock. Sorry, not take the... What am I talking about? You know what I mean. Right, let's get rid of the clock now and let's go over to Jerome Powell. We're about to get the review at any moment now. We've got a minute to go. All right, so we'll come back to that any second. How did the Fed go? It's a pause, and we're waiting for Jerome Powell to take the stage any second now. All right, MNTS, I told everybody about this. The moment our video came out, it would rally. We ranked number 1 already on M&TS. Didn't I say exactly this in my video? I told everybody, guarantee this will make money, and I was absolutely right. There is the video. I said it would rank number 1, number 3 in 1 hour. It was number 2 within 12 hours, and now we're number 1 in 24 hours. And I said because it was a positive review, which it was, then the stock would go up, which it has. There is the momentous analysis. It's all there. Go and check it out. It's very, very easy to move a very small stock like that when the review is good and you rank number 1 for it. Very, very easy. All right, let's get ready for Jerome Powell. He's about to speak. How many people are with us right now? 116. Everyone smash the like button. We're going to go quiet in a second as Jerome Powell takes the stage.
What they've written in the statement, they've got it, haven't they?
They don't have an upper hand, right? This is the thing. Everyone's debating where we are in the economic cycle. They don't know. So they want some sort of, smoke signal, and then they can go. But this isn't typically what markets like, because they definitely want something definitive rather than flipping and flopping.
Right, okay, everybody, smash the like button. I'm looking to buy. I've got $100,000 to buy the S&P. We know we've got a rate pause, but it's what he says. And if the markets drop a couple of percent, I'm going shopping. If it goes down a couple of percent, only about $4,000. Here it goes.
About that. Entering the room, Chairman Powell on the first Fed News Conference of 2024.
Good afternoon. My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. The economy has made good progress toward our dual mandate objectives. Inflation has eased from its highs without a significant increase in unemployment. That's very good news. But inflation is still too high, ongoing progress in bringing it down is not assured, and the path forward is uncertain. I want to assure the American people that we are fully committed to returning inflation to our 2% goal. Restoring price stability is essential to achieve a sustained period of strong labor market conditions that benefit all. Today, the FOMC decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged and to continue to reduce our securities holdings. Over the past 2 years, we have significantly tightened the stance of monetary policy. Our strong actions have moved our policy rate well into restrictive territory, and we've been seeing the effects on economic activity and inflation. As labor market tightness has eased and progress on inflation has continued, the risks to achieving our employment and inflation goals are moving into better balance. I will have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments. Recent indicators suggest that economic activity has been expanding at a solid pace. GDP growth in the fourth quarter of last year came in at 3.3%. For 2023 as a whole, GDP expanded at 3.1%, bolstered by strong consumer demand as well as improving supply conditions. Activity in the housing sector was subdued over the past year, largely reflecting high mortgage rates. High interest rates also appear to have been weighing on business fixed investment. The labor market remains tight, but supply and demand conditions continue to come into better balance. Over the past 3 months, payroll job gains averaged 165,000 jobs per month, a pace that is well below that seen a year ago, but still strong. The unemployment rate remains low at 3.7%. Strong job creation has been accompanied by an increase in the supply of workers. The labor force participation rate has moved up on balance over the past year, particularly for individuals aged 25 to 54 years, and immigration has returned to pre-pandemic levels. Nominal wage growth has been easing and job vacancies have declined. Although the jobs to workers gap has narrowed, labor demand still exceeds the supply of available workers. Inflation has eased notably over the past year, but remains above our longer-run goal of 2%. Total PCE prices rose 2.6% over the 12 months ending in December. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.9%. The lower inflation readings over the second half of last year are welcome, but we will need to see continuing evidence to build confidence that inflation is moving down sustainably toward our goal. Longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored, as reflected in a broad range of surveys of households, businesses, and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets. The Fed's monetary policy actions are guided by our mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. My colleagues and I are acutely aware that high inflation imposes significant hardship as it erodes purchasing power, especially for those least able to meet the higher costs of essentials like food, housing, and transportation. We're highly attentive to the risks that high inflation poses to both sides of our mandate, and we're strongly committed to returning inflation to our 2% objective. Over the past 2 years, we have raised our policy rate by 5.25 percentage points, and we've decreased our securities holdings by more than $1.3 trillion. Our restrictive stance of monetary policy is putting downward pressure on economic activity and inflation. The committee decided at today's meeting to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 5.25 to 5.5%, and to continue the process of significantly reducing our securities holdings. We believe that our policy rate is likely at its peak for this tightening cycle, and that, if the economy evolves broadly as expected, it will likely be appropriate to begin dialing back policy restraint at some point this year. But the economy has surprised forecasters in many ways since the pandemic, and ongoing progress toward our 2% inflation objective is not assured. The economic outlook is uncertain, and we remain highly attentive to inflation risks. We are prepared to maintain the current target range for the federal funds rate for longer, if appropriate. As labor market tightness has eased and progress on inflation has continued, the risks to achieving our employment and inflation goals are moving into better balance. We know that reducing policy restraint too soon or too much could result in a reversal of the progress we've seen on inflation and ultimately require even tighter policy to get inflation back to 2%. At the same time, reducing policy restraint too late or too little could unduly weaken economic activity and employment. In considering any adjustments to the target range for the federal funds rate, the committee will carefully assess the incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. The committee does not expect that it will be appropriate to reduce the target range until it has gained greater confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward 2%. We will continue to make our decisions meeting by meeting. We remain committed to bringing inflation back down to our 2% goal and to keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Restoring price stability is essential to set the stage for achieving maximum employment and stable prices over the longer run. To conclude, we understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission. We at the Fed will do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals. Thank you. I look forward to our questions.
Gina Smiley from the New York Times. Thanks for taking our questions. Obviously, in the statement and just in your remarks there, you note that you don't want to cut interest rates without greater confidence that inflation is coming down fully. I wonder, what do you need to see at this point to gain that confidence? And as you make those decisions, how are you weighing recent strong growth in consumer spending data against the sort of solid inflation progress you've been seeing?
Sorry, say that last part again.
How are you weighing the growth data and consumption data, which have been surprisingly strong, against inflation data?
Okay. So what are we looking for to get greater confidence? Let me say that we have confidence. We're looking for greater confidence that inflation is moving sustainably down to 2%. Implicitly, we do have confidence and it has been increasing, but we want to get greater confidence. What do we want to see? We want to see more good data. It's not that we're looking for better data. We're looking at continuation of the good data that we've been seeing. And a good example is inflation. So we have 6 months of good inflation data. The question really is, that 6 months of good inflation data, is it sending us a true signal that we are, in fact, on a path sustainable path down to 2% inflation? That's the question. And the answer will come from some more data that's also good data. It's not that the 6-month data isn't low enough. It is. It's just a question of, can we take that with confidence that we're moving sustainably down to 2%? That's really what we're thinking about. In terms of growth, we've had strong growth. I mean, if you take a step back, we've had strong growth, very strong growth last year, going right into the fourth quarter. And yet we've had a very strong labor market, and we've had inflation coming down. So I think, whereas a year ago we were thinking that we needed to see some softening in economic activity, that hasn't been the case. So I think we look at stronger growth. We don't look at it as a problem. I think at this point we want to see strong growth. We want to see a strong labor market. We're not looking for a weaker labor market. We're looking for inflation to continue to come down as it has been coming down for the last 6 months.
And I'm sorry, if I could just follow up very quickly. When you say that you want to make sure that it's a true signal, is there anything that you're seeing in the data that makes you doubt that it's a true signal at this stage?
No, I think I would say it seems to be the likely case that we will achieve that confidence, but we have to achieve it, and we haven't yet. And so, I mean, it's a good story. We have 6 months of good inflation, but you can, and you know this, you can look behind those numbers and you can see that a lot of it's been coming from goods inflation, for example, and goods inflation running significantly negative. It's a reasonable assumption that over time, goods inflation will flatten out, probably approximate zero. That would mean the services sectors would have to contribute more. So, in other words, what we care about is the aggregate number, not so much the composition, but we just need to see more. That's where we are as a committee. We need to see more evidence that sort of confirms what we think we're seeing and that tells us that we are on, gives us confidence that we're on a path to a sustainable path down to 2% inflation.
Nick.
Nick Timros of the Wall Street Journal. Chair Powell, it seems to me you raised rates rapidly over the last 2 years for two reasons. One was the risk of a wage price spiral. Two, there were risks of inflation expectations becoming unanchored. This morning's ECI report for the fourth quarter shows private sector payroll growth running at a sub 4% pace. Inflation expectations are very close to where they were before the inflation emergency of the last 3 years. And given that you appear to have substantially cut off these two tail risks, and that you've judged here today current policy is well into restrictive territory, what good reason is there to keep policy rates above 5%? Are you really going to learn more waiting 6 weeks versus 3 months from now that you have avoided those two risks?
So, as you know, almost every participant on the committee does believe that it will be appropriate to reduce rates. And for partly for the reasons that you say, you know, we feel like inflation is coming down. Growth has been strong. The labor market is strong. What we're trying to do is identify a place where we're really confident about inflation getting back down to 2% so that we can then begin the process of dialing back the restrictive level. So overall, I think people do believe, and as you know, the median participant wrote down 3 rate cuts this year. But I think to get to that place where we feel comfortable starting the process, we need some confirmation that inflation is in fact coming down sustainably to 2%.
If I could ask differently, if you hold rates high as inflation moderates, as it has been, target rates will exceed the prescriptions of the Taylor rule or its variants. What would be the reasoning for holding rates higher than the levels recommended by those rules in the current instance? Well,
look, I think, as you know, we consult a range of Taylor rules and non-Taylor kind of rules. We consult them regularly. They're in our teal book, and they're in all the materials that we look at. But, you know, I don't think we've ever been at a place where we were setting policy by them. And they're, depending on the rule, it will tell you different things. There are many different formulations. Another way to think about it is implicitly is so. In theory, of course, real rates go up if holding all else equal as inflation comes down. But that doesn't mean we can mechanically adjust policy as real rates, as inflation comes down. It doesn't mean that at all because, for one thing, we don't know we look at more than just the Fed funds rate. We look at broadly financial conditions. But in addition, we don't know with great confidence where the neutral rate of interest is at any given time. But that also doesn't mean that we wait around to see the economy turn down, because that would be too late. So we're really in a risk management mode of managing the risk, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, managing the risk that we move too soon and move too late. And I think to move, which is where almost everyone on the committee is in favor of moving rates down this year. But the timing of that is going to be linked to our gaining confidence that inflation is on a sustainable path down to 2%.
Hi, thanks, Chair Powell. I'd like you to key in on the use of the word in the statement that inflation still remains elevated. You've pledged to cut rates before inflation reached 2%. So that implies that there's some sort of intermediate step here on inflation, and that a cut would be consequent with a change in the statement language that inflation remains elevated. What's the step down from there?
Yeah, I don't know that we worked out the particular statement language and that kind of thing. I would just say, if you look at where 12-month inflation is, and it's still well above core is 2.9%, for example, 12 months, which is way down from where it was. Very, very positive development, very fast decline, and the case is likely that it will continue to come down. So that's where it is. But we're wanting to see more data.
So if I could follow up on that, the statement allows that you want greater confidence on inflation falling before you cut, but it doesn't mention the other side of the mandate, a slide in employment. Would a slide in employment also bring you to the point of cutting rates?
Yes. So let me say that we're not looking for that. It's not something we're looking for. But yes, if you think about, in the base case, the economy is performing well, the labor market remains strong. If we saw an unexpected weakening certainly in the labor market, that would certainly weigh on cutting sooner. Absolutely. And if we saw inflation being stickier or higher or those sorts of things would argue for moving later. In the base case, though, where the economy is healthy and we have ongoing growth, solid growth, we have a strong labor market, we have inflation coming down, that's what people are writing their SEP around. And in that case, what we're saying is, based on that, we think we can and should take advantage of that and be careful as we approach that question of when to begin to dial back restriction.
Claire Jones, Financial Times. Just to circle back to the greater confidence aspect of the statement, there's been a lot of unanimity in recent meetings. I'm just wondering, going forward, when it comes to all needing greater confidence, is the unanimity, or at least consensus among FOMC members, about what the threshold for that greater confidence is? And if not, could you maybe tell us a little bit about the discussion today on, what the variations between FOMC members was on what constitutes enough confidence to cut rates, and also if there was any variation on how quickly that greater confidence threshold could be reached. Thank you.
We're not really at that stage. There was no proposal to cut rates. Some people did, talk about their view of the rate path. I would point you to the SEP as good evidence of where people are, although it is one cycle later. So, we're not at a place of really working out those kinds of details because we weren't actively considering, moving the federal funds rate down. I will say there is a wide disparity, a healthy disparity of views, and you see that in public statements in the minutes and the transcripts when they're released every 5 years. So we do have a healthy set of differences, and I think that's actually essential for making good policy. We're also able to reach agreement generally because we listen to each other, we compromise, and even though not everybody loves what we do, they're able to, for the most part, able to join in. To me, that's a well-functioning public institution.
Rachel.
Hi, Chair Powell, Rachel Siegel from the Washington Post. Thanks for taking our questions. So over the past few years, there have been all these real-time indicators that helped us gain a sharper understanding of where the economy was, like open table data or office attendance. You've talked about vacancies in the past. And I'm wondering at the start of this year, what might be on that dashboard for you that's giving you the clearest picture of the economy, including on rents, if you could touch on that.
Including?
Rent costs.
Yeah. Well, so we're not, it's not the pandemic, so we can actually rely on more traditional forms. People are working, they're getting wages, and the economy is largely reopened and is broadly normalizing, as you see. So I wouldn't say we're looking at that sort of more innovative data as much. You point to rents, so of course we follow the components of inflation very carefully, which would be goods inflation. I talked about that a little bit. You mentioned housing inflation. So the question is, when will these lower market rents find their way into measured rents as measured in PCE inflation? And we think that's coming. And we know it's coming. It's just a question of when and how big it'll be. So, but that's in everyone's forecast, I would say. So that will help. But at the same time, we think goods inflation will probably, it's been giving a lot of disinflation to the effort, and probably that declines over time, but it may well have some more time to run. The supply chains are not perfectly back to where they were. In addition, it takes time for the healing process to get into prices. So there may be still a tailwind. We'll find out with that. So we look at the things that relate to our mandate very carefully, and as you would imagine.
I guess just as a quick follow-up, do you feel comfortable at this point saying the economy has reached a soft landing, or is that part of looking for more confidence?
No, I wouldn't say we've achieved that, and I think we have a ways to go. Inflation is still, core inflation is still well above target on a 12-month basis. 12 months is our target. Certainly, I'm encouraged, and we're encouraged by the progress, but we're not declaring victory at all at this point. We think we have a ways to go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Please tap the like button. It will share it out to more people and help the channel grow and recommend my content to you. Thank you.
We're telling you right now that growth is stronger. In other words, how much is the economy really being restrained right now by the current funds rate? And how much restraint does it really need additionally if inflation is still coming down?
So I think you do see in the interest-sensitive parts of the economy, you do see, for example, housing, you see the effects, you do. Your second question, though, really, I think is important, and that is a lot of this has come through, a lot of the disinflationary process has come through the healing of supply chains and also of the labor market. So you've seen that other set of factors is really different from other cycles and has brought that working with tighter policy, which has enabled the supply side to recover, I think that mixture has been behind what has enabled this. So no, we really do think that we're having an effect broadly across the economy. I would point to the interest-sensitive parts of the economy as well as spending generally. But it's a joint story. It's a complicated story.
But how much restraint are you actually imparting to the economy, would you say, relative to the neutral rate?
So I think it's of course, that it's not something you can identify with any precision. But a standard approach would be to take the nominal rate, 5.3%, let's say, and subtract a sort of a forward measure of inflation. If you do that, and there are many, many ways to calculate that neutral rate, but that's one I like to do. And you're going to get to something that is materially above mainstream estimates of neutrality, of the neutral rate. You will. But at the same time, you look at the economy and you say, this is an economy that grew 3.1% last year. And you say, what does that tell you about the neutral rate? What's happening, though, is the supply side has been recovering in the middle of this. So that won't go on forever. So a lot of the growth we're seeing it isn't just a tug of war between interest rates and demand. You're getting, more activity because of labor market healing and supply chains healing. So I think the question is, when that peters out, I think the restriction will show up probably more sharply.
Thank you. Sorry. Thanks for taking the question, Mr. Chairman. You mentioned earlier we're not seeking a weaker labor market. I think you said. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Do you think the labor market now is back to quote unquote normal, and that we can achieve the inflation target without wage gains coming back down to what they were pre-pandemic? Even with today's ECI levels, they were still above those pre-pandemic levels.
I think the labor market, by many measures, is at or nearing normal, but not totally back to normal. And you pointed to one or more of them. So I think, job openings are not quite back to where they were. Wage increases, rather, are not quite back to where they would need to be in the longer run. I would look at it this way, though. The economy is broadly normalizing, and so is the labor market. And that process will probably take some time. So wage setting is something that happens. It's probably will take a couple of years to get all the way back, and that's okay. That's okay. But we do see. You saw today's ECI reading. The evidence is that that wage increases are still at a healthy level, very healthy level, but they're gradually moving back to levels that would be more associated, given assumptions about productivity, are more typically associated with 2% inflation. It's an ongoing process, a healthy one, and I think we're moving in the right direction.
So that process can continue without a weakening of the labor market, basically, you're saying?
Well, I think the labor market is, I don't know if it's rebalancing. Clearly, there was a fairly severe imbalance between demand for workers and supply at the beginning of the pandemic. So we lost several million workers at the beginning of the pandemic from people dropping out of the labor force. And then when the economy reopened, you remember 2021, you had a severe labor shortage, and it was everywhere. Panic on the part of businesses, couldn't find people. So what's happened is we expected the labor market to come back quickly, and it didn't. And 2022 was a disappointing year. And, we were kind of thinking, well, maybe we won't get it back. And then 2023, we did, as you know. So labor force participation came back strongly in 23, and so did immigration. Immigration came to a halt during the pandemic. So those two forces have significantly lowered the temperature in the labor market to where it's still a very strong labor market. It's still a good labor market for wages and for finding a job, but it's getting back into balance, and that's what we want to see. And one great way to look at that is what's happening with wage increases, and you see it now across the major things that we track. It isn't every quarter, but overall, there's a clear trend, still at high levels, but back down to where would be consistent with where we were before the pandemic and with 2% inflation.
Chris.
Hi, Chris Rugaber at Associated Press. Thank you. I wanted to follow up on Rich's question. It sounded like you suggested that you're not worried about faster growth so much. So wanted to see if you're seeing anything that suggests that inflation could reaccelerate from here. And it sounds like you're saying you're not worried that solid growth from here on out poses any risk to inflation. Thank you.
No, I think that is a risk, the risk that inflation would reaccelerate. I think the greater risk is that it would stabilize at a level meaningfully above 2%. That's to me more likely. Of course, if inflation were to surprise by moving back up, we would have to respond to that, and that would be a surprise at this point. But I have to tell you, that's why we keep our options open here, and why we're not rushing. So I think both of those are risks, but I think the more likely risk is the one that I mentioned, which is you've had 6 good months, very good months. But what's really going to shake out here? When we look back, what will we see? Will inflation have dipped and then come back up? Are the last 6 months flattered by factors that are one-off factors that won't repeat themselves? We don't think so. That's not what we think. But that's the question we are asking. We have to ask, and we want to get comfort on that.
And just one quick follow-up. Governor Waller had mentioned the revisions that are coming on February 9th for the CPI data. Is that something you're watching as well? And if we see those revisions fairly minor, is that going to give you more confidence where things are going?
We'll just have to see. Yeah, we'll look at those. Last year was a surprise.
Michael McKee, Bloomberg Radio and Television. If you don't want to use the term soft landing, would you say at least that from your point of view now, the other scenario of a hard landing caused by the Fed is off the table, or the risks have diminished very much? And you mentioned below 2% inflation on a 3-month basis. Core PCE has been running at 1.5%. And there are those on Wall Street who think that if you maintain the level of restriction you have right now, you could end up with inflation running below your target. How do you see that?
So your first question, how to describe where we are. So I guess I would just say this. Executive summary would be that growth is solid to strong over the course of last year. The labor market, 3.7% unemployment, indicates that the labor market is strong. We've had just about 2 years now of unemployment under 4%. That hasn't happened in 50 years, so it's a good labor market. And we've seen inflation come down. We've talked about that. So we've got 6 months of good inflation data and an expectation that there's more to come. So this is a good situation. Let's be honest. This is a good economy. But what's the outlook? That's looking in the review. The outlook, we do expect growth to moderate. Of course, we have expected it for some time, and it hasn't happened. But we do expect that it will moderate as supply chain and labor market normalization runs its course. The labor market is rebalancing, as I mentioned. Job creation has slowed. The base of job growth has narrowed. And of course, 12-month inflation is above target and getting down closer to target. It's not guaranteed, but we do seem to be getting on track for that. So those are the risks and questions we have to answer. But overall, this is a pretty good picture. It is a good picture. Your second question was, sorry.
Could you get inflation that is below target, end up with inflation below target, and you have to do something about that?
So the thing is, we're not looking for inflation to tap the 2% base once. We're looking for it to settle out over time at 2%. And the same thing is true. If we have a month or two of lower, and we have that now, of inflation that's annualized at a lower level, that wouldn't be good. We're not looking to have inflation anchor below 2%. We're looking to have it anchor at 2%. So if we do face those circumstances, then we'll have to deal with that. I think as of now, the question, we want to take advantage of this situation and finish the job on inflation while keeping the labor market strong.
Edward Lawrence from Fox Business. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for taking this. So as I've heard from some district Fed presidents, is it, in your view, a little premature to think that rate cuts are right around the corner? And then when we do see that first rate cut, should we interpret that as the beginning of a rate cut cycle, or is it a one-off?
So I'll point to that language on your first question. We included that language in the statement to signal clearly that with strong growth, strong labor market, inflation coming down, the committee intends to move carefully as we consider when to begin to dial back the restrictive stance that we have in place. So if you take that to the current context, we're going to be data dependent. We're going to be looking at this meeting by meeting. Based on the meeting today, I would tell you that I don't think it's likely that the committee will reach a level of confidence by the time of the March meeting to identify March as the time to do that. But that's to be seen. So I wouldn't call, when you ask me about in the near term, right, I'm hearing that as March. I would say I don't think it's probably not the most likely case or what we would call the base case. Then your second question is
is this the start of when we see a cut, is it the start of a cutting cycle, or could it just be a one-off?
That's going to depend on the data. The whole thing is this is going to depend on the data. We're going to be looking at the economic data as it affects the outlook and the balance of risks, and we're going to make our decisions based on that. And it could wind up, we'll have another SEP at the March meeting, and people will write down what they think. But in the end, it's really going to depend on how the economy evolves. We talked about there are risks that would cause us to go slower. For example, stronger inflation, more persistent
$100,000 on
inflation.
standby.
There are risks that would cause us to, or if they happened, that would cause us to go faster and sooner, and that would be a weakening in the labor market, or for that matter, very, very persuasive lower inflation. Those are the kinds of things. So we're just going to be reacting to the data. That's really the only way we can do this.
Victoria.
I hope you've all taken profits on momentous. You've all made
Victoria Guido with Politico.
sort of 60,
Could you
70%.
talk a little bit more about productivity
Be ashamed to
growth?
lose it.
You've mentioned multiple times about the level of wage growth that's consistent with 2% inflation. We've obviously seen, you were talking about ECI
Plug
this
power.
morning.
You've also had a 30, 40, even 50% gain. I hope you've taken it.
How much of those numbers do you attribute to productivity, and do you see that productivity as sort of just temporary because of the factors, the labor and supply chain factors you were talking about, or do you think that productivity growth will fade over time?
So this is a really interesting question.
No, definitely thumbs up. If you're a long-term investor, this is going perfect.
If you look back to the pandemic, you saw a spike in productivity as workers were laid off and activity didn't decline as fast. And then you saw a deep trough of productivity. And then over the last, you saw high productivity last year in 23. I think we're basically in the throes of getting through the pandemic economy. And the question will be, what is it that has changed? The productivity tends to be based on, fundamental aspects of our economy. Is there a case, will it be the case that we come out of this more productive, more on a sustained basis? And I don't know. What would it take? It would take, people talk about AI, but my guess is that we may shake out and be back where we were, because I'm not sure I see work from home doesn't seem like it's a big productivity increaser. AI, artificial intelligence, generative may be, but probably not in the short run. Probably maybe in the longer run.
I love this dip.
So
this is great.
I'm not seeing why it would, but right now, I would say the productivity is kind of
Profit
what
was
falls
there,
out
guys.
of
I hope you all took it.
The broader forces that are driving people
Plug,
in and out of the
momentous.
labor
It was
force
all
and
there.
activity
Free money on the
returning,
table.
supply chains
Huge
getting
profits
fixed.
on the table.
Right, so would that be behind
All
why
now running
we've
away.
seen such strong growth, but we've also seen inflation fall, that maybe there's just a higher level of productivity
That's
right
one
now?
way to look at it, yeah.
Nancy.
Hi, Chair Powell. Nancy Marshall-Genzer with Marketplace. I want to ask a little bit more about housing. I'm wondering, how closely are you watching rent and housing prices as you evaluate whether and when to cut rates? And it seems like housing prices are not coming down as quickly as you expected.
So when we think about our statutory goals are maximum employment and price stability, and that's what we're targeting. We're not targeting housing price inflation, the cost of housing, or any of those things. Those are very important things for people's lives, but they're not, those are not the things we're targeting. We're also well aware that when we cut rates at the beginning of the pandemic, for example, the housing industry was helped more than any other industry. And when we raise rates, the housing industry can be hurt because
Going shopping
it's a
on
very
red days, I
interest-sensitive
love
sector.
it.
On top of that, we have longer run problems with the availability of housing. We have a built-up set of cities, and people are moving further and further out. So there hasn't been enough housing built, and these are not things that we have any tools to address. But where it comes into play very specifically in our work is inflation, which is a combination. It's really rental inflation. You're taking owner's equivalent rent and then actual rent paid by tenants, and you're running that through the CPI calculation or the PCE calculation, the one we look at. And what that's telling you is that market rents are increasing at a much lower rate or even being flat, and that will show up in inflation over time. It has to, as long as that remains the case. So.
And just real quick, what is your response to the letter that was sent to you by some members of Congress asking the Fed to lower interest rates to make housing more affordable?
My response is what I started with, which is that our job, the job Congress has given us, is price stability and maximum employment. Price stability is absolutely essential for people's lives, most importantly, not most importantly, mostly for people at the lower end of the income spectrum who are living at the edges, at the margins. And so for someone like that, high inflation in the necessities of life, right away you're in trouble. Whereas even middle class people have some scope to absorb higher costs. So we have to get, it's our job, it's what society has asked us to do, is to get inflation down. And the tools that we use to do it are interest rates. So that's how we think about that.
Courtney Brown from Axios. Can you give us some insight into whether the committee discussed the possibility of slowing balance sheet runoff in the months ahead?
Yes. So I would start by saying that balance sheet runoff so far has gone very well. And as the process has continued, we're getting to that time where questions are beginning to come into greater focus about the pace of runoff and all that. So at this meeting, we did have some discussion of the balance sheet, and we're planning to begin in-depth discussions of balance sheet issues at our next meeting in March. So those questions are all coming into scope now, and we're focusing on them. But we're at the beginning of that process, I would say.
Quick follow-up. Is it the case that the Fed would decide to lower rates and make adjustments to the balance sheet runoff in tandem?
Yes, we do. We see those as independent tools, and so they don't. For example, if you're normalizing policy, you might be reducing rates but continuing to run off the balance sheet. In both cases, that's normalization. But from a strict monetary policy standpoint, you could say we're loosening and one with tightening. So that could happen. It's not something we're planning or thinking about, but right now we're thinking about getting to a place where we're going to see the balance sheet runoff to continue. We're watching it carefully, and as I said, we'll be looking into that as a committee starting in March.
Thanks.
Simon Urbanovich with The Economist. Thank you, Chair Powell. You've mentioned 6 good months of inflation data, but that not being enough to build up confidence. Based on your previous response that your base case is you probably wouldn't start easing yet in March, the implication is that 8 good months might not be enough either. Roughly how many months do you think you might need of good inflation data to be confident?
Yeah, I'm not in a position to put a number on it. I'm just going to say, it's not that we don't have any confidence. We have growing confidence, but not to the point where we feel like it's a highly consequential decision to start the process of dialing back on restriction. And we want to get that right. And we feel like the strong economy, strong labor market, inflation coming down, it gives us the ability to do that. We think that's the best way we can serve the public, because ultimately, we've made a lot of progress on inflation. We just want to make sure that we do get the job done in a sustainable way. That's how we're thinking about it. In terms of when that'll be, that'll all come out of our communications, and we won't keep that a secret.
Hi, Chair Powell. Evan Reiser with M&I Market News. Can you explain a little bit more on what you're considering when tapering QT? Do you need to see the overnight reverse repo facility all the way down to zero, or is it something that you can start with a couple $100 billion there?
Not a decision that we've made, but I wouldn't think we wouldn't be taking a position that it's got to go to zero. I mean, if it were to stabilize at a different level, but that's not a decision that we've made. That's what we'll be talking about at the March meeting. A whole range of issues will be briefed up, and the committee will get into all of the issues that will be arising over the course of the next, let's say, year or so.
I hope you all took profits. Huge profits on Momentous.
Thanks,
and
Craig
Plug.
Knopf from MarketWatch.
S&P is selling off.
Change gears a little bit.
I'm ready to buy $100,000 on
presidential
standby.
Primary campaign that's been going on for the last 9 months or so. Your name has come up often, and many Republican candidates had said that they probably wouldn't want to give you a third term. So I wanted to give you a chance to talk about that. Do you want another term? You've had on the Fed. What's your stance on that?
I don't have a stance on that. It's not something I'm focused on. Focused on doing our jobs. This year is going to be a highly consequential year for the Fed and for monetary policy, and we're all of us very buckled down, focused on doing our jobs.
Jennifer. Thank you, Chair Powell. Jennifer Schonberger with Yahoo Finance. As you mentioned, core PCE has been running at 1.9% over the past 6 months, and you guys are actually expecting core inflation higher this year at 2.4% compared to that 6-month measure.
Given that forecast and that the median is for 3 rate cuts this year, what happens if inflation stays where it's been over the last 6 months for the next 6 months?
So we'll update our inflation forecasts at the next meeting. You referred to the December meeting. That's 3 months old, so it might be lower now given the data we've gotten. So look, as I mentioned, we're going to be reacting to the data. If we get very strong inflation data and it kicks back up, then we'll go slower or later or both. If we got really good inflation data soon, that would matter for both that would tell us that we could go sooner and perhaps go faster. So we're just going to be but of course we'll weigh that with all the other factors. We're setting policy based on the totality of the data.
But just to follow, if inflation stays where it is currently, that would probably mean that the real interest rate becomes more restrictive. Would that mean you'd have to trim more, perhaps, than you already have factored in?
Well, I think if we came to the view that that the 6-month inflation numbers, which are very close to 2, were in PCE world, if we thought that is really where we're going to be, then yes, our policy would be in a different place. It would. But that's the whole point, is we're trying to get comfortable and gain confidence that inflation is on a sustainable path down to 2% or toward 2%.
Daniel.
Hi, Chair Powell. Daniel Davis, Agence France-Presse. I just wondered if I could get your comment on the recent consumer confidence data. It seems to suggest that consumers are sort of moving towards a much more optimistic view of the economy. I just wonder, is it fair to say that they're moving towards where the Fed appears to have been in recent months? And do you think that inflation and falling inflation perhaps has played a role in that? And what challenges do you see going forward? Thank you.
Yeah, so it's been interesting that confidence surveys have been weak at a time when unemployment has been low, very low, historically low for a couple of years, but nonetheless that's been the case. And we've asked ourselves why that is, and one obvious answer, we don't pretend to have perfect wisdom on this, but one obvious answer is that the price level is high. So prices went up much more than 2% per year for a couple of years, and people are going to the store and they're paying much more for the basics of life than they were 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and they're not happy about it. And it's fine that inflation's coming down, but the prices they're paying are still high. So that is what that has to be some part of why people are unhappy, and they're right to be unhappy. This is why we need to keep price stability. It's why we need to do our jobs, is so that people don't have to deal with things like this. In terms of you're right. In recent surveys, you've seen a couple of significant increases in consumer confidence or happiness with the economy. I guess that's a good thing. That can support spending, can support economic activity. There's some evidence of that. But it is a fact that we have seen a meaningful increase. I think levels of confidence are still maybe not as high as they've been at various times, but they certainly have come up.
Thank you for taking our questions. Brian Manestian in Business. Committee members have said they'd like to meet with business leaders and stakeholders in person to learn more about the economy in real time, given that some data are subject to large revisions, the issue of seasonal adjustments being thrown off balance, and many readings of the economy being quarterly. So did any members say they've learned anything not yet reflected in the data, or have you yourself learned anything through anecdotal evidence that hasn't been captured in the data yet?
Well, yes. I'm a big believer that yes. So we do meet with outside groups who come from all different parts of the economy, and I always feel like I spent most of my life in the private sector looking at individual management teams, and then building out from that. And so starting with GDP data and working into what's actually affecting people's lives is challenging. It's very hard. So I really like anecdotal data. In addition, as you know, the 12 reserve banks have really the best network of anyone, that in all their districts they're talking to not just the business community, but the educational, medical, all nonprofit community. They have arms into all of that. And so when they come back, that's what goes into the beige book. But they come back, and what each reserve bank president does is, during the Outlook go-around, they'll say, in my district, and they'll talk about 100 conversations. They won't talk up. They will give you input based on 100 conversations that they've had with people of all different walks. And I personally find it very helpful in understanding what's going on. And also, I think you hear things before they show up in the data sometimes.
Did any of them notice slowing economy based on what they've heard from like their district?
Yes, I mean, if you look back at the last, not this beige book, but the one before, it was more. There was a lot of slower activity. I think that what you're hearing now is things are picking up a bit. You're hearing not in every district, and not every person that we talk to, but you're overall, it feels like you're hearing things picking up at the margin. So that's what comes through.
Let's go to Jeff Cox for the last question.
Thank you, sir. Jeff Cox from CNBC.com. Just kind of looking to put it all together. You had talked about basically the economy looking strong with 3.3% annualized growth in the fourth quarter. Does the strength of the economy speak more loudly to you now than any inflation threat might? That you're in a position, in other words, to keep rates elevated as long as the economy stays strong, and you're more tilted towards that. And also, perhaps, are you worried at all that the economy is maybe a little too strong right now and that inflation could come back at some point?
I'm not so worried about that. It's again, we've had inflation come down without a slow economy and without important increases in unemployment, and there's no reason why we should want to get in the way of that process if it's going to continue. So I think declining inflation, continued declines in inflation, are really the main thing we're looking at. Of course, we want the labor market to remain strong, too. We don't have a growth mandate. We've got a maximum employment mandate and a price stability mandate, and those are the two things we look at. Growth only matters to the extent it influences our achievement of those two mandates. Thank you very much.
There we go.
So the meeting for Chairman Powell, live from New York City.
Once again, fantastic. And let me now look at it and answer your questions. Okay, fantastic. What a good outcome that was. Exactly what we wanted for those of you that are long-term investing, at least anyway. So what we've got now is people priced in a little bit more. They expected perhaps there to be a rate cut. To be fair, we didn't expect a rate cut. That doesn't mean to say people don't buy it anyway. So what have we got now? This is perfect for me as a long-term investor. It's exactly what I want. Over the next couple of days, we could get the S&P drop below my buy-in price and get it cheaper. Let's go through all our positions and answer everyone's questions. We're also going to go straight into a review as well. We've got a review. One of our members said, I want a review straight away. What can I do? And he gave a wonderful super chat to get a request done straight, a review done straight away. So thank you ever so much to Radiant Smile. Let me put a thank you on that one. And thank you ever so much indeed. There we go. Radiant Smile. That's your first super chat, I believe, in a live show. So thank you very much indeed. I've got to go tomorrow. I must be up early. Good day, all, and Martin and Leah. Have a nice dinner. Yes, for those of you who just tuned in, it's Leah's birthday today. Thank you, Rallo1, for your super chat to get Leah a coffee this afternoon. We did that this afternoon. I think somebody else gave a super chat as well to Leah for tequila for tonight. Let me just look. Who was that? We had a super chat from somebody to buy Leah a tequila tonight because we are going to dinner at a Mexican restaurant after tonight's show. Yes, it was Mitch NL. This was what happened.
For 2 tequila tonight, Martin.
And this was Rallo1 this morning. See if it comes up. There it is.
Towards Leah's birthday dinner.
And she really enjoyed the birthday song earlier, by the way. So thank you all for that. Okay, now we're going to do a review. Let me just get through this, answer everyone's questions. It's been a very, very busy busy show, got a big audience. Thank you ever so much. If you've not yet tapped the like button, please do. It will recommend my content in the future. If you didn't like the show and you don't like the way I do things, please do tap the down like button and you won't see my content anymore. So got 120 watching, which is lovely right now. Thank you ever so much indeed. And 50 likes. Let's refresh it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see if we've got 60. We've got 85 likes. Fantastic. Thank you. Those of you that like the stream, you'll be shown my content in the future. And those that don't like it, you won't anymore. And that's great. What we want is the most engaged audience. I want to thank all the subscribers today. Massive growth in the show today, 15,060. So we're gaining, we're doubling our rate of growth every month. Anyway, we're going to do a review in a second and also some warnings. So let's have a look. Let's read some of the comments. Happy birthday to Leah. Damn, I missed the song. It was this morning and it was great. Everybody, we had about 100 people in and everyone was doing birthdays for Leah. It was absolutely lovely and yeah, really, really nice. Leah appreciated it. Without Leah, I wouldn't be here. It's my birthday, really, because, you know, Leah being in my life supports me to be able to do this. And now I'm able to... look at this rolling around again. This is absolutely brilliant. Just every few seconds rolling around. Absolutely brilliant. So Zed Hink said, damn, I missed the song. Well, you can rewind it this morning. Oh, by the way, and this is thanks to Sensei Crypto. So I want to thank Sensei Crypto for doing this. He said it's really, really important to put chapters on the videos. So I do that now for all the videos. If there's particular subjects, if I'm making videos in the live stream. So let me show you in case you've missed it, and then we're going to do a review. Let me do it. Let me have a quick look. So this was another subscriber around the world. Thank you ever so much indeed. I think we got a new member as well. I'll come to you in a moment. So past live streams. So this was this morning's show. If you click on the past live streams like this, every single video now has this. If you look here, can you see there are now chapters? This was Sensei's idea. It was a brilliant idea. Look, so you can go straight to the momentous news, Virgin Galactic interview. You can go straight to it, intro. See this here? Or you can do it like this. Look below in the description of the video, time code chapters below. I do this.
Towards dinner for you and Leah. Happy birthday.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sensei. It's very kind of you. Very, very kind. Leah's watching this, by the way, so she sees it all. New subscriber, Jan. Thank you, Jan. If you scroll down here at the bottom, look. So it says Virgin Galactic interview or momentous news. So let's say we go to momentous news. You click on it. And boom, straight to news here on Martyn Lucas Investor. Right to the momentous ticker symbol MN. So after the video goes out, about half an hour or an hour later, I then start putting the chapters in. Today there won't be. Today there will be because I'll put in the review. So if you wanted to watch the review before I posted it or whatever, then you can. But today there hasn't been, I haven't been making videos, so there's nothing really other than the whole video is what it is. But if you look below, you'll find all of those chapters. And I want to thank Sensei for that idea. It's a bit of extra work, mate, so thanks for that. But it's a very good idea. I hope you're enjoying it. So we're going to do we're going to do a review now, or try and do two actually. But I'm going to close this poll. 67% of you were right. It was a pause. I'm waiting to spend $100,000 here. I want to ask as a poll here. Do you use the chapters? I've only been doing it for about maybe 2 weeks. It's quite a new thing. So do you use the chapters? So have you ever seen it or used it? Have you ever? I want to see if anyone does it, because it's another step. Wouldn't say it's a lot of work, but it's another thing I have to do. So do you use the chapters? Yes or no? Or I should probably add not yet as well. Not seen yet. So if you do use them, say yes. If you've seen them but you don't want to use them, say no. Or you've not seen it yet. So there we go. Start a poll. Okay. I want to see if anyone's actually used it. All right. Okay. Now then, we got some reviews to do straight away. Let's have a look. Happy birthday, Leah. Rallo1. I picked WARP. It's a company owned by the brother of Axon Taser. It's a less than lethal device used to detain people before making an arrest, lowering the fatality rate and bridging the gap. Radium. We're about to do it between police and citizens. Sensei, thank you. Police officers have a gun, taser, pepper, and baton, but nothing less lethal and also effective. Rap is exactly that. Axon, a successful company. Okay. Right then, Mu Crypto. Now, you will love to speak to Sensei Crypto. He takes care of our crypto challenge. He has a great show on Sunday on our channel. You might want to speak to him. So, would everybody please welcome Mu Crypto? What country are you from? We've got members in 57 countries. If you are not a member, if we don't have your country here, we can fly the flag for your country. So would everybody please welcome Mu Crypto? And we've got Sensei Crypto in the show today. You really want to speak to him. I'll introduce you to his plan in a minute as we do the review as well. Okay, so Mu Crypto, are you familiar with all your perks and benefits? You now have a badge. You'll be recognized as a member of our channel. On the homepage of our channel, you will see, let me bring it up here. On the homepage of the channel, you will see members-only videos, members-only live streams. You can now access all of that. You can ask me to poll the audience. If you comment below any of my videos on the channel, I will respond to all of your questions, all of your comments, every one. I will also respond to you on social media and help you grow. If you ever go silver member, that's the best value membership. You can upgrade at any point and downgrade at any point. I can put you on the homepage of my channel and get everyone to subscribe to you. We did one the other day. Where we help and support our members. It was in the, I think, general chit chat, wasn't it? I think it was in general chit chat. This was Jeffrey Diamond. Jeffrey Diamond sponsored the channel. And this is what happened. He sponsored the bell. You can sponsor the bell now as a member. Look, this is what happened. He sponsored the bell. It was $20 to sponsor the bell. And we, in just a few seconds, shared his business. He got a person added, which is $34 a month. He got that customer there, and he got a person enrolled for $20 a month here for this course. He was selling courses, and he asked us to promote him, and he sponsored the bell. So you get lots of things. If you want everyone to subscribe to your YouTube channel, I can get everyone here to subscribe to it. I do that for all my members who are silver, who go on the homepage if you request that. You can ask me to review a stock for you. You can call into the show. You can be one of my researchers. I can also upgrade your account on Discord, celebrate your birthday. There are many, many perks. Most of them we can't even list. Your price will never go up, no inflation, and I'm always here and adding more and more perks all the time. There's the Discord link if you want to be upgraded. Now, one person, I want to see if anyone needs upgrading yet on the Discord link. Let me have a look. No, nobody in there at the moment. Wow, more people than I expected use the chapters. Let's have a look. So I'm going to look at the poll right now. 37 votes. Do you use the chapters? 40, half of you. I can't believe it. That's incredible. It's actually not as good for me, the creator of the channel, because you're watching less of my content. but it's actually better for you, which means it's better for me long term. It's like investing in myself. If you're scrolling through, you're probably watching more of my content. However, if you serve people better, then they're more likely to support your channel. That's the idea. So it's a better service for you because you can now find the things you want, and ideally it will start to rank on Google. More people will find the content and so on. So it's a long-term investment. So that's brilliant. Only 10% said no. The other 38% have not seen yet. So Sensei, huge, just between me and you, mate, thank you very much for that suggestion. At the end of the show, when I'm editing the stream to make my videos, I actually use these, I actually have the time code. So it's actually part of my workflow anyway. It's not actually that much more work. As I'm editing in Adobe Premiere, the actual individual videos, I know where they start and I just write it into the chapters, into the description, and it works. Obviously, everyone loves it. So Sensei, thank you for that tip. Very much appreciated. Anyway, so there you go. Mew Crypto, where are you from? Would everybody please welcome Mew Crypto into the family? William Richardson, I believe RAP will mirror Axon trajectory. If you buy S&P in the long term, the price doesn't even matter. I wouldn't wait for a 20% drop. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. If you just buy it monthly, which is what a lot of people do, then, you'll do well long term. However, I also want to trade it and also want to be able to buy it at the best prices. So yes, I am absolutely waiting for a drop because I'm earning 5% at the moment on my cash. Anyway, I think the S&P is too pricey. It's got to come down a bit to add any more. That's true, Ramin, but you and the S&P is sky high, so don't go all in. Only issue, unless because it's so good, you'll guarantee a return. Would you buy shares in Amazon? Would you buy shares in Amazon long term? Not at the price that the stock is, but I'd buy the S&P, which has Amazon in it. Gen Z uses the chapters. There you go, Niels. That's right, and I think so too. Hi all. UK branding the flag also. UK branding the flag as, yes, I'm from Cornwall in the United Kingdom. Now then, I'm about to do a review. I'll try and do 2 reviews if I can. We're going to do our review first. Who was it for, by the way? I'll see in a second. Let me just end the poll because we've got a massive... I thought it was going to be like hardly anybody. So that's a great result. Thank you for the poll. MSK, Raman, we got some space. Look out for us. Look out for it on Sunday. Been wanting to chat in the window for a while, so finally made the jump. Mew Crypto, welcome Mew Crypto, welcome, everyone's welcome you in. Now let me introduce you now to Sensei Crypto. I do, MSK, welcome back. On this channel, do you do pre-market runners as well? Yes, I go live an hour before the market. I go live an hour before the market opens. I'm live up to 10 hours a day. I'm here to answer everyone's questions, review stocks. You can phone in, be part of the show. We do Meet the O series, everything. This is your show. You can have whatever you want. Fed cut, rate or not. No, it's a pause. It's a pause. On this channel, do you teach people how to trade the 200 moving average with the right? The person you want to speak to with regard to the charts, that is not me. The expert in the charts is Sensei. On Sunday, Sensei will do all the charts for you. So I'm now going to... Sensei, do you want to call in, by the way? A lot of people talking about you and your services. Here's the upcoming live streams. Here is tomorrow's show, Thursday. I will post Friday later on tomorrow. But here is the Sunday show. This is the Sunday show. This is where you'll meet Sensei, who will do all the charts for you. He is the one to do all the charts. Let me give you the link for the Sunday show. Every Sunday, Sensei has his own show. There you go. Let me give it to you 3 times in the chat. I'm waiting to spend some money right now. The S&P is going down. It's exactly what I want. So this is really, really good for me. The S&P now is now down just up 2% now. It's given it all up, so I can't wait. I could start buying more now, but I'm holding off a little while. How do you think the pause will affect the markets now until the Fed? Well, everything that's overbought will trim off. Everything that's got high debt will trim off. So let me share with you exactly my strategy. Virgin Galactic's going straight back down. I say 110 now is the bottom for that. I told everybody about Momentous that we would rank number one on YouTube within a week. We did it within 24 hours. We're now number one. And Momentous would pop up because my review was positive on the stock, and I hope you all took profits. It went as high as 73% up. Most of you would have made 80% profit in 24 hours because of that video. Honestly, it was good news. And the analysis of the stock was good, and we had good news on the stock today as well. Put all that together, 73%. It's all now giving it up. You've lost 30% now. Should have sold it. I hope you all did. Plug as well. Plug went all the way up. We did about 60% over the last week, and now it's going down because it's got the earnings around the corner when all of this is overbought now. And I even gave you a warning for those Russian oligarchs who actually infiltrated our channel yesterday. I showed you when it happened live on the show. And here was the video. I put this out. Russian corruption. I actually showed you live in the show, it actually happening live. There it is. And I also said about Momentous. There it was. I did it in advance, so you can check back and see that I was right. And there was the big news on Momentous today to tell you that would get this pump, and we did. There was the news about Plug that would pump, and it did. There was the Momentous review, which I said would do well, and it did. So be very, very careful. There's loads of profits here. I hope you've all taken the profits. Anyway, free money. Now, someone said it's not free money. It's our investment strategy. It's free money. It absolutely is free money. If you can make 70% in 24 hours, that's free money. Of course, it's your money you invested. But if you make 70% in 24 hours, you didn't work for it. You didn't work for it. No way did you work for it. You got lucky. We timed it right. The analysis was right. But I'm not going to say that's all down to us and how clever are we. No. If you make 70% in a day and you don't take profit on that, you must be stark bonkers, because that's about 6 years on the S&P. The index, which Wall Street used as a benchmark, you did in 24 hours. That's not hard work. That's not fruits of your labor. That's you got lucky because the stock trended, everyone's buying it, everyone overbought it, and that isn't work. That isn't work. If you regard that as work, well, then you've got a funny concept of work. That was you got extremely lucky, and that was great, then you should take the profit. Absolutely. That isn't work. Work is long-term investing, what I'm doing, going live 10 hours a day, putting on a show, earning money, buying the S&P long-term. That's work. That's discipline. That's long-term. And for those of you that didn't see the video this morning, I shared with you how I'm going to get to $1 million live on the show. Here is my strategy. Currently I have $66,000 in my portfolio. Over 12 years at a 13.7% rate, which is the average S&P with inflation built in. It'll take me 12 years to get there. However, that's me adding $2,000 a month now. My YouTube channel could double. The rate of growth is doubling every month, so that could go up. Well, it will go up. It's going up every month. So 12 years is if I put $2,000 in every month. Now, some of you said, well, yeah, you're just buying it. No, I'm not just buying it. I'm adding, someone said to me this morning, you're just buying your own growth. No, I'm not. Look, I'm over 12 years, I will add $354,000 if I do $2,000 a month, which I can do now. I will make 708,000 profit. So I'm not just buying it. Otherwise, that'd be like just putting money in the bank. I've got 708,000 profit. Now, in reality, if my show keeps doubling and doubling, I'll be able to put more, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. I'm still having a target of $1 million, but it will come back 11 years, 10 years, 9 years, 5 years, 4 years, who knows? So my growth will be greater because the money will stay in and it will be 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. So that profit will go up. So don't tell me you can't reach your goals and become a millionaire just using the S&P. This is work. This is me investing in myself, working 10 hours a day streaming and 12 hours in the studio. That's work. Getting 70% in a day on a stock that really has no actual value today. It's speculative. Is actually you just got lucky. I want everyone to realize that is free money, absolutely free money. All right. What's the next stock to buy? Thursday 18. I'm reviewing and we're about to do one now, actually. Please stick around the Russian trends and continue to promote videos to pump the stocks. Crag loves it. Hello, Martyn. Any update on to-do? What are the take on Martini Racer on sudden collapse? Martini Racer is buying more. He hasn't sold any. He's bought more. It's been going sideways now. This is good. As soon as we get the announcement on the flight, this will go up. You have done it as well, Martyn. More likes than viewers. Sensei. All right, shall we have a look? Sensei set me a challenge going, get more likes than viewers. You ready? Okay. We've got 91 watching, 85. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look. 105 likes. Yes, Sensei, I did it. All right. Shot. What is that? Is that Safety Shot? Safety Shot. Rubbish company. They don't answer emails. They don't answer phone calls. Lizette, I'm sorry, but Safety Shot is rubbish. Hello, Martyn. Any update on to-do? I just answered that one. Love it. Emotional traders gave us bargains today. Absolutely right. We timed it right. But remember, we don't time the market in investing. We make educated and calculated buys. Yes, but you can't always pat yourself on the back. Yes, if the analysis was right, the timing was right, the stock. As we grow, let me be absolutely honest. There is no doubt about it. 100%. I'm going to have one of the most effective YouTube channels on YouTube because no one works this hard. I believe I will have more subscribers than Meet Kevin and Graham Stepan combined in a few years. No doubt about it. In my mind, I can see the path. I can see it exactly. No doubt. So when we look at small cap stocks, if the balance sheet makes sense, remember, I don't buy the stocks. I don't pump the stocks. You might go, yes, you pumped the stock and we all made money and I'm pleased for you. But if I say the stock is rubbish in the review, it's rubbish. If I say it's got a good value, the balance sheet makes sense, then it will do well. Okay? That's it. So if I review your favorite stock and it's a small cap and no one else is doing it, yes, I can rank number one for it very quickly now because a month ago, for the very first time, I started to rank number one for the word stock, which is really incredible. So not just Sidus space, but the word stock. So anything with stock now, I get suggested. So Tesla stock, Apple stock, Virgin Galactic. Well, that's easy. Microsoft, all the rest of it. So if I do a review and it's a small cap for you guys, you asked me to do it, it's probably going to rank within a few days. I thought it would be a week. It's now happening in 24 hours. Then the stock is going to pump. You're going to get a 70, 80%. But you must take your profit. You must take the profit. If you can make 70% a day on a stock, flipping heck, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? All right. So anyway, just be very careful and make sure that you do it on your Roth IRA so you don't pay any tax. If you do it on your brokerage account, you're going to pay capital gains tax, probably 20%. So just be careful. Right. Got reviews to do. Let me, Virgin Galactic's going right back down. Exactly like we said. No surprise. I see the bottom now as 110. Momentous. It's going straight back down again. I hope you all sold. You were all up 78%. Now it's 40% gone. Boom. Just like that. Exactly like we said. Plug power. Well, I can't even start to tell you how this has been manipulated. I've been receiving texts all day from the guy that invited me to join that Facebook group, who openly told me he thought he could sucker me in because he thought everyone's greedy, everyone's selfish, I couldn't get him in. He made a big mistake with me because he told me we got Russian oligarchs and all the rest of it. And I went, I want nothing to do with it. The British government, the American government said we want nothing to do with helping Russian oligarchs. And I am all for that. That's what our country asked of us, and that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to jump on in your Facebook group with some billionaires to try to pump Plug. Plug is a great business. It deserves a $10 stock. However, it's not there yet. It's got to report on the earnings. Right now, it's been overbought. At $2.25, it was a great buy. Should have sold it at $5, which is where it went, or $4.81. This is insane right now. This is bonkers right now with what they're doing, selling $1 billion worth of the company. It's ridiculous, but they don't care. They just want to promote it and dump all over everybody. And I certainly don't want money going to Russian oligarchs. Absolutely not. So I want nothing to do with it. Anyway, he's been texting me all day, and because I won't be in the stock and get involved in it, they're being rude now. Well, now I'm not interested in doing any of that. So anyway, Thursday, never just press the buy button. I always use limit buy orders below bid. Yes, Pharmacopia. Yes, you must use limit orders. If you just go buy on a stock like this, you can end up paying 10% higher or lower than you wanted to. Well, lower's fine, of course, but you can end up spending 10% higher. And if you're selling, you get 10% lower. It's very, very important on low float stocks. Even on mega caps, always do a limit order. Don't just go buy and sell and go, oh my God, I thought I was going to get it for 443. Remember the market makers. And remember, even though we're looking at a price of 443, this price is moving really quickly that you don't even see. So this is just the sort of balanced out average, really. So you want to make sure that you do a limit order. I've demonstrated this to my cost to show you how it works. Wow, nice, Martyn, a millionaire. Hope you stick to this plan. There's no doubt about it. I will be a millionaire in 12 years, if not a lot less. The reality is, if I continue doubling my show every month, it won't be 12 years, it'll be a lot less. But that's the minimum just by sticking to the plan. That's what I call a plan. 401k Roth invested consistently in your 20s, you'll retire a millionaire. Absolutely correct. Also remember, Martyn, with the pie chart, your contributions are less than that. It shows it's the current portfolio value as the part of the contribution. In reality, you grew your current portfolio. Let me just understand what he's saying there. Also remember, Martyn, with the pie chart, your contributions are less than it shows. It's the current portfolio value as part of the contribution. In reality, you grew your current portfolio. Thank you, Sensei. I'm 23 and already made commitment to invest into my Roth IRA and max it every year. Then if you continue on that path, you will undoubtedly be successful. The biggest investment you make is in yourself. Don't just try to make money out of doing nothing. Don't just invest, try to make money from nothing. Invest in yourself, and you will, in your education, your discipline, your health, and working, and you will always make money. It's very easy to make money. I've made money all my life. The hard part is to keep it. Smart Radiance. I really don't consider that free money. You can talk about a nice profit, but it's absolutely not free money. It could also get the other way around and lose. It can't lose if you did it the way I suggested, Absolutely can't have lost. You bought at the bottom of an oversold market. No question about it. It was Plug was dramatically oversold. So was Momentous. Dramatically oversold. So it was always going to go up. Now, yes, you're right. There's always a chance it can go down. But the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. All right? Greed and uncertainty doesn't lie either. You know what people are going to do. Okay? It's very easy to see it. What is the case is no one knows if this is going to go up, down, sideways now. No one knows that. What we know is we bought it at the bottom. We know that. And we know it was going to go up because my review ranked number 1. It was a good review. It was timed on the big news coming out. So it had to go up. What we don't know is how far it will go up. But if you've got 70, 80% profit and you don't take it on a stock that has a market cap of $10 million, then you'll never take profits. Then there's nothing ever good enough for you. So who cares if it goes to $1 million now? Who cares? If you made 70% in 24 hours, that's one of the best trades you're ever going to do of your life. Why would you not? So do space. This should have gone down 15, 20% with the dilution. It went down something like, was it 48%? That's why now it's been going up and going sideways. This is going to explode when we get the date of the flight. No doubt about it. You bought it undervalued. But remember, if it does go up, take your profit. Thank you, sir, for your helpful information on your show. I will be quiet now. No, not at all. Ask as many questions as you want. I believe, are you one of my members? I've got to do a review now, by the way. One of our members booked it in and said, I want it. Oh, you're not one of my members. I thought you were. Anyway, I was regarding you as a member. I have over 1 million in my 50s, not to include I'll have over 1 million in my 50s, not to include my individual stocks. Correct. Good luck to you. As long as you stick to the path and work hard and you missed my comment where I start with, I can't call in. Oh, you can't call in. Okay. No drinking, no partying, just work, family, and invest. Saving is not investing. Saving is not investing. That's where people go wrong. Your money doesn't grow sitting in your bank account. No, it doesn't. It goes down. Because if you put it in the bank account, you earn 0.5%. And if inflation in a perfect world, which it ain't, was 2% a year, you're losing 1.5% every year. Putting your money in the bank is the worst thing you can do. Put your money in the S&P is a very, very safe alternative, and you'll earn 10%, 12% a year. All right? And if you trade the S&P in your Roth IRA, buy on dips, sell on up days as well in your Roth IRA, you won't pay tax on it. Take the dividends, don't reinvest them, hold them in cash, currently earn 5.25%. That's free money, and then buy the dips. You'll always make money. iCAD is my only green stock today. We also did iCAD as well. Let Martyn do the work. Really, let Martyn do the work. Nice voice, Martyn. I was just checking out the member exclusives. Oh, was you looking at the music channel? I'm the World Piano Man. Let me give you the link to it. Every Friday night we do live concerts. I do 14 voices, 7 different languages, 650 songs. There's my music channel. Right, I have to do a review now. Let your winners win. There are famous traders. Thank you, Trusar. Michael Burry shorted the market. Oh, yes, indeed. Let's Soap 110 for Virgin Galactic because I need to buy more. Yes, Ramon. Thanks, Delph, for plug. When's my Sava review? It's on the list. Don't think you'll recognize me in 12 years when you're a millionaire subscribers. Don't think you'll recognize me in 12 years, but I'll be there, Niels. Took some profit on plug today. Great. Hope you all did. If Virgin Galactic goes to 110, Martyn's super chat of $200. In other words, it's really not going to happen. If Virgin Galactic goes to 110, so Momentous is a good buy or not? Not now it's not, no. Not now it's not. It was when we reported it at whatever it was, like, I don't know, was it 30 cents or whatever? Not now it's not, because now it's ridden a wave. I wouldn't be buying it now. But anyway, if you buy it now, you're just gambling. Are we investors or day traders? You can do whatever you like. Momentous is a good buy, waste of time. Well, those that made 70, 80% don't think it was a waste of time. All right, okay, time to do a review. I think I've got through everyone's comments. Do we have Ranveer Lavosia and John Granfors in the show? I've got your review here. Ranveer. Is Ranveer here? No. Is John Granfors here? John. No, he's not. Okay. Okay. Google's too expensive. I'll be buying it through the S&P. Let me see if I can buy this now. 1.9. No, not yet. I'm holding my cash at the moment. Okay. Who was it who asked for the review? Let me have a look. We've got a review now to do. Radiant Smile. Right, here we go. Radiant Smile. The bell's about to go in 30 seconds. He wants wrap review, Radiant Smile. Okay, we're about to ring the bell. We'll then do the bell and then we'll do the review. I've got $100,000 ready to buy the S&P. It's going down. Just going to wait and wait and wait. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Remember, you can sponsor the bell for $20 and get everyone to click on your business too. Bell's gone. All right, there we go. Now then, we've got a review to come up. It's still going down. I'm waiting to buy. Here is my buying power. $100,000 or $99,500 ready to spend if I want to on the S&P. Remember why I buy the S&P, to get to $1 million in 12 years, but also to stay impartial and provide you with the best, most honest information. 1.84, nearly there. Oh, I'm not going to jump in too quickly. No, not going to jump in yet. Right, let's do a review. It's a bit warm in here today. Okay, I want to thank everybody for the super chats and the good wishes to Leah. So I'm going to do this review, end the show, and then I'm going to take Leah out to dinner tonight. So thank you all for that. It was very much appreciated. All those that gave super chats, it's going to Leah's birthday treat tonight. Awesome stuff. Right. Do we still have in the show this new member? Just before I do the review, let me see where he is. It was Mew Crypto. Okay, Mew Crypto. Are you here, Mew Crypto? Because I want to introduce you. Are you here? I want to introduce you to Sensei. Are you here? As I line this up, looks like I'm going to be buying the S&P. I've got 100 grand to go, but I'm not. Virgin Galactic has gone down. That's no surprise. That's going to 110, I believe. Talking to Eric tomorrow. Looks like I'm going to buy the S&P later on tonight in the early hours, maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Remember, it trades 24 hours a day. You should have dumped your SPY. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I'm not selling anything. Not selling anything at all. I don't need to. I can buy it on the way down. I don't need to. Absolutely not. You were holding and took at some profit, Martin, if it goes down. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't need to. As long as I achieve my goal of $1 million and 100 grand within the year, and can do it in less and less years, I'm achieving my goal. I don't need to take those kind of risks. Yeah. Okay. Let's line up this review. We've got 15,062, 15,067 subscribers. Thank you ever so much, everyone who supported the show today. Can't thank you enough. Nearly 14,000 again. Our peak is 17,000. We took the weekend off, of course, so we should be back up there again by tomorrow, which is good. So we are doubling the rate of our growth every month at the moment. Right. VU is a buy now. I'm just waiting for it to go lower before I buy any more. There's wrap. There's wrap. This is what we're doing now. So is Radiant Smile, are you here? And is our crypto guy still here? I want to introduce you to Sensei Crypto. Radiant Smile, are you here? Radiant Smile, are you here? Okay. Now then, let me bring up wrap. This is my next review. Is this the next stock we're going to identify? Now this one, again, I can rank number one within a week. If it's like last time, it'll be within 24 hours. If it's a good review, Radiant Smile, then it will go up and we will rank for it and we shall see. But only if it's a good review. I'm not going to say if it's not. I'm not going to pump a stock. That's rubbish. I'm just going to talk about it honestly. Okay. Here it is. Let me line it up. We've got the information. We've got the software loaded in. Right, let's do it now. It's been around since 2016. We're going to load up a back test, put $10,000 in the S&P. We're going to put $10,000 in wrap. I'm just loading up the technology now, the software. So if you can't see anything, don't worry. I'm just loading it off screen. You will see in just a couple of moments what I'm doing. Okay. Okay. Check our dividends. There's no dividend here. Okay. I also want to bring up the website as well. Latest news, inside trading, who's buying, who's selling, balance sheet, profitability score, solvency score, all those things. Wrap Technologies. Very cool website. Very cool website. Okay. Nothing there. Just loading all the information that I need. We want this here. Okay, we're nearly done. How recently was this? Look at the announcements. I want to see the most recent stuff. January, that's good. I like that. Just a few days ago. Okay, got that. I think we got what we need. Okay, latest news, the website, what's going on, what's it all about, the price itself. Okay. And this is where the chapters come in. Later on, you'll see this in the chapter. But today, it will just be this and the Fed report, so it won't be too much today. Okay. Right. It's time. We're just about ready to go. Just before I do the review, we've got a lot of new members here today. I'd like to introduce you to Sensei. Sensei Crypto takes care of our crypto challenge. If you've not been part of that, let me share with you what that's all about. This is Sensei's website. Sensei provides a show every Sunday. Mu Crypto is here. Perfect. This is, I think this might interest you. Sensei does a show every Sunday on my channel, and here is his website. He's got a great service that I actually use. Many of my members do. I'm going to put it in the chat here for you right now. There you go. Sensei Crypto. Go and check it out. It's got a lot of free plans. He's also got some premium plans. But if you use my membership, you'll end up getting my membership for free because of the discount that you get. We've been doing what he has called the Crypto Challenge. This is my Crypto Challenge. I say it's mine. It was set up by Sensei. And I don't ever look at my crypto. I don't need to. Sensei does it all for me. And I put in here $1,000 about a year ago, I think it was. And Sensei tells me what to buy, what to sell, when to buy it, when to sell it, and all the members that are on this plan. Now, it's very impressive because, thank you, Amit, for your subscription. I've got $610 in cash. So only $400 is working in crypto, and we're up to 2,131. Now, full disclosure, there's a couple $100 here of crypto giving. If you see at the bottom of the screen, martynlucas.com/tip, some people will give me a crypto tip. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it will go in here in my Coinbase. So only a couple $100. So let's take that off. Let's call it $1,900 from just $400. So that's pretty good, right? I think you agree. That's the growth we've made on this portfolio. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. There's a little glimmer, XRP, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, or whatever. And Sensei runs that for us. And he provides a great service. I use it myself. So I wouldn't talk about it if I didn't use it. And he has premium plans and he has free plans and so on and so forth. This is his website. I'll give it to you again in the chat. And if you want to talk to Sensei, you can message him through his website, or perhaps you want to join him on a Sunday show. And of course, that's on the homepage of this channel, and you can go and check it out. All right. But now it's time for another review. Let's get straight into it. So the time now is, what's the time to mark it down? It is 2 hours 42. That's how long I've been live. Radiant Smile. Here we go. 2 hours 42. And this is wrap. Now, the reason why it's gone to the top is because you can have a review for free. It's a membership perk that you get for free, but some people don't want to wait. They want it done straight away. And Radiant Smile said to me, how much is it to go to the very top of the super chat list? And I said $30 will go to the very top. And he decided to donate $50, $20 towards Leah's birthday tonight, which is very kind, and then 30 because he wanted to bump up the list. Remember, you don't have to pay anything. It's free. It's one of the perks that you get. But he wanted it done straight away. That's why we're doing wrap right now. Now, it is green, so we are going to put some green on it. Okay. I am going to end the stream now on TikTok because I want to turn this screen round because I want this to rank #1 on Google and YouTube within a few days. And thereby, if my review is good, we don't know yet. If it is good, then wrap is going up 20-30%. So if you want to join me on YouTube, the link's in the profile. Just come out of the live stream. Keep tapping my icon. If you keep tapping my icon, you'll come out of the live stream. You can come into YouTube and then you can join us. But I need to use this screen now for the review. Okay? See you back in the morning, folks. Bye-bye for now. Right. Now I can turn this screen around. Okay. The proud... I can't read that out, but we've just had 5 memberships gifted. I can't read that name, I'm afraid. I have to abide by YouTube courtesy rules, but thank you very much for your memberships. You've just given a membership to Clinton Glasgow, Bernard Foxton, Weil Berlin, Robbie Cooper, The Bag of Holding. Excellent. Okay? Okay, fantastic. So let's get straight into it. So would everybody please thank the proud Reese Tipney. I can't read that out, I'm afraid. And don't forget, lots of perks and benefits, access to Discord. I can upgrade your account, but now we're going to do a review for Radiant Smile. So here we go. Well, Radiant Smile, when this comes out, what you can do is, because I never troll anyone, I don't mean troll, I never spam anyone, I don't chase anyone. If you want to share this with them, engage on X, tag me in it, invite them to respond. If they want to phone in and and do a CEO interview, then you can, and I would be glad to do it. All right? Radiant Smile says, yes, this will rank #1, mark my words. Hi, new members. Whoa, nice name. All right. Okay, here we go. Now, during the making of this video, I am going to go members only because we are making a video that will go out later and be seen by Wrap Technologies. So we don't want any scammers or bots or trolls ruining it. So we're now going members only. If any member wants to do a super chat during the making of this video, if you put a comment, it will read it out. It will promote the video, because if the video gets super chats on it, if people are commenting on it, YouTube will suggest it to more people and it will rank higher. So if you want to have a comment that actually reads out during the making of this video, then now is the time you can do that. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Time for another stock review. We're now going to talk about Wrap Technologies. During this review, you are going to see the most honest review because I'm not paid by anyone, sponsored by anyone to make these reviews. I do it as perks for my members. This particular one, however, full disclosure, somebody wanted it, one of my members wanted it done straight away, so he gave me a $50 super chat, and 20 of that is actually for my wife's birthday, just so you know. But other than that, I'm not actually paid to do these reviews. They just get bumped up the list for those that want to. In this review, we're going to show you the balance sheet. We're going to show you the inside trading, who's buying, who's selling. I'm going to give you a profitability score. I'm going to give you a solvency score. We're going to have a full back test on the S&P 500. So we're going to compare it. If you did buy this company, how does it compare? And you should always do that. How does it compare if I put my money elsewhere? What about the website? What is the product? What does it do? This is it. Also, we're going to invite the CEO to respond to this. Now, I expect, knowing my channel for what it is, within a week, this will rank number one. I will rank number one for the search term, WRAP technologies, because I rank now for the word stock, which is why my channel is growing so quickly. So when I talk about a small cap company like this, within days, I will rank number one for it. Now, if that's good, if the review is good. I don't own the stock, full disclosure. I'm not here to pump and dump the stock. What I am here to do is to provide the best information for my viewers, my members, to give them an informed decision whether they should buy a stock, sell it, hold it, or whatever, or run clear. So I'm not here to help wrap technologies. I'm here to provide an informed review. If it's great, it's great. If it ain't, it ain't. It is what it is. And we shall see what happens over the coming days. All right. So let's get straight into it. We are going to start simple, and then we are going to get much more in detail as the review goes. Okay. So if you are enjoying the video so far, tap the like button if you like it, or if you see anyone do a super chat, it's being made live in a live video. So you might actually get live comments and understand why that is. This is always being made during a live video, so you know my videos are unedited. They are exactly as they are. The only thing I do is add a little bit of compression so it sounds more like a radio. Other than that, there's no editing done. It's exactly how it comes out. Okay, subscribe as well, ring the bell. You'll be notified then of my content, all right? We aim to be the most honest, real channel on YouTube TV. That's the purpose of this. Okay, so WRAP Technologies, what is it? Well, if we look at the line chart, just over the basic line chart at the moment, you will straight away see that it's down over it's down since 2016. It's down overall, and it's very volatile. So it's subject to news. This is a very volatile stock. It is a penny stock. Anything under $5, thank you, Ethan, for your subscription. Anything under $5 is regarded as a penny stock. Now, we are green in the studio today because the stock is up at the moment. So remember this number, $3.80. That's when we started talking about the stock. Okay, let's see what it does within about 24 hours, 48 hours once my review comes out. Okay, what is it though? WRAP Technologies is a global public safety. Global. That's important. So some news I'm about to show you in a moment will demonstrate how global in fact it is. Safety technology and service company which engages in the provision of modern policing solutions to law enforcement and security personnel. It introduces its products include a Bollet Wrap, remote restraint device, and Wrap Reality. The company was founded by Elwood G. Norris, Scott Cohen, and James Barnes. I invite those guys to be on my show. You can phone into the show. You can have your say, correct me if I'm wrong, or discuss on any of the points on my review. Okay, it's headquartered in Arizona. Listed name is WRAP, W-R-A-P, WRAP Technologies. Founded in 2016, Arizona. Employees 69. Very small company. Scott J. Cohen, I invite you onto my show to do a review and have a conversation with me. Now then, if you were buying this with margin, it's 75% maintenance. What does that mean? If you're buying it using the brokerage's money, it's regarded as relatively high risk. 25% is the lowest, 100% is the highest. So it's regarded, no surprise, volatile, up and down. It's losing money. It's a company at the moment that's regarded as high risk. Makes sense. Now, it's a very small company. It's 174 million. I hope to be a millionaire within 12 years on this just on this portfolio here. So it's a very small company. However, it's not a rocket company. Doesn't need $1 billion. It can probably grow much. It probably grow with a lot less money with the products that it does. Anyway, we'll come on to that in more detail. The high today is 394. The 52-week high is 411. Price to earnings ratio. What that means is the price you are paying for the stock in ratio to the earnings. It loses money. Now you might go, well, that's no good. I don't want to buy a company that doesn't make money. Of course, new companies very often don't make money. I worked for 1.5 years on this channel making no money because I was investing in myself. Now I make money. So it's a young company, but it's currently not making any money. But even though it's not making money, we need to compare the price earnings ratio to others in the same sector. And there are others, companies in the same sector. We'll come to those in a minute. You can compare those balance sheets, look at those numbers and see how they compare and go, okay, which is the best value if you like this sector? All right, low today is 362, 52-week low, 95 cents. No dividend, it's purely a growth stock. Okay, makes sense. Moving on down. Now then, the earnings. Our earnings is kind of steadily moving in the right direction towards positive cash flow. We want to be above this number. Right now, we're losing money and we beat expectations, then we met expectations and we missed. We beat. I'm not sure what we did there. And now we're up on Q3 23. So overall, we are trending up. We've had a little bit of a dip here. We can check the investor pages to find out what happened here. Maybe they made some investments. Maybe they lost some money. We don't know. We can look at that. And then we can see where it's likely to go in the future. Now then, who are we in bed with? What I mean by that is this tells us the direction of the stock, or potentially, because it tells us who else is buying this stock in this brokerage that I am using right now. Well, if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. Assertio, no idea who they are. Never reviewed them. Mink Therapeutics, never reviewed them. Agenus, never reviewed. Never reviewed HDO, Catalyst Pharmaceuticals, and Opco Health. Never reviewed any of these companies, so I can't honestly say the direction of the stock based upon the company it keeps. What I can, though, see is we do have health pharmaceuticals, and therapeutics in this list, which means these potentially can be good companies if they have a breakthrough research, whatever. If they find the cure for cancer or whatever. But what you've got here is high risk stocks. But what I'm very pleased to see, so this is positive, even though this is a small company and it's regarded as a penny stock, it doesn't have any that I know of anyway. It doesn't have any scam stocks. This is good. We don't want to see Mullen in here. We don't want to see rubbish we don't want to see things like Safety Shot. We don't want to see Nikola. We don't want to see Lucid. Right? And we're not seeing anything like that. We don't want to see companies that are surrounded by false information, false pumping and dumping. We don't want to see any of that. And from what I can see, it doesn't keep company with that, which is good. That's a good sign, right? Now, there's very little information on here. Morningstar haven't done a review, so it's very low cap, very under publicized, which will mean because of the size of my channel, this will actually rank number 1 within a few days. And if this review is good, then the price will go up because interest alone will be generated around the company. Let's now have a look more in detail at the company's website. We've got some latest news and we've got some introduction. Right, here we go. As you can see here, it provides the police force, security forces with less lethal weaponry. So rather than tasers, well, I mean, tasers is not lethal, but carrying guns, they're bringing out this sort of equipment. All right, so you can see this sort of equipment they've got here. Let's have a little zoom down and have a little look at what we might see here. In the news website looks okay. Okay, just a bit of information here. Our solutions. We are leading the industry and empowering public safety with innovative training and tools to take individuals safely into custody. Wrap Technologies is a leading global provider of advanced public safety solutions integrating state-of-the-art technology, cutting-edge tools, and comprehensive services to address the complex modern-day challenges facing public safety organizations around the world. It's a global company. Good. Guided by a none-harm principle, WRAP is dedicated to developing a groundbreaking solutions that empower public safety agencies to safeguard the communities they serve in a manner that fosters stronger relationships and delivers positive public safety outcomes. Okay, we understand now a bit about the company. We can go into different bits of their equipment, testimonials. We won't do that on this review. You can do this yourself. We're going to focus on the business. Doesn't matter to me how good the idea is. I'm an investor. Will my investment return a profit of at least 20-30%? Otherwise, why am I giving up my hard-earned cash for it? Okay, that's what we're looking at. Right, in the news, what's the latest thing around the company? Then we'll get into the business end of it, the numbers. I said to you it was a global brand. It is. Boller Wrap successfully deployed on aggressive homeless immigrant in Bolzano, Italy. All right, Bolzano Police Department in Italy successfully used the Boller Wrap solution while conducting clearances operations at the Roma Bridge. Okay, let's have a quick read here. Let me try and fit this on the screen for you. It's a bit small, I know, but I'll read it out for you. On January the 25th, a couple of days ago, the Bolzano Police Department in Italy successfully used the Boller Wrap solution while conducting clearance operations beneath the A22 viaduct at the Roma Bridge. As the police ordered individuals in the fenced-off area along the Isaac River to remove tents and belongings, one occupant, a homeless immigrant, became increasingly aggressive towards the officers. Whilst most people dispersed, the individual grabbed a rock from the ground, turning away from the officers. At that moment, a Boller Wrap instructor from the local police, equipped with Boller Wrap, successfully detained the individual, who was subsequently arrested. Okay. The intervention was successfully executed without any reported injuries, aligning with good outline but by the Councillor for Social Policies and so on and so forth, using these products. So we can see the benefits of the product. Okay, that's great. We now know what the product does, but now can the product make us, the investor, money? So let's go into it. So far, if you like this, tap the like button. If you are working at Wrap, please do reach out to me. I would love to interview you. I have a Meet the CEO series where you can be live on the show or do an interview with me and we can record it, and I'd love your thoughts on it. Okay, subscribe and ring the bell if you are new. Let's go now into the numbers and then we'll do a back test on it. All right? Okay, so let's go over now to that part of the review. Okay, so let's look at the numbers. So here we go. Balance sheet and all. Now, straight away, we will look at the intrinsic value. Intrinsic value, 51 cents. So overvaluation. Overvaluation. Now, in other words, it's too expensive, but hang on. This is fair. This is open. This is honest. My reviews are honest. They're not here to help the company. They're here to help the investor. All right, but they're always fair, based upon numbers, not opinions and stuff like that from paid analysts. Okay, it says here that is overvalued by 86% on a base case, 84% on a best case, and 87% on a worst case. In other words, it's too expensive. Hang on though. We do have a warning. Wrap's intrinsic value estimate is unreliable because it is based only on multiples and doesn't have DCF valuation. Now, that's not because the company's bad or whatever. It's because we don't have those valuations yet. There are things missing. It's a new company. It's not making any profits yet. So we can't ascertain the full value until we have all that information. And that can be the case when a company start up. It can be a case when they don't have any profits yet. So that doesn't mean to say it is overvalued, but it's based upon the information that we have today. All right? So, okay, just worth noting. So valuation history, we have a lot of information missing. Now, it's never wise to invest on something without all the information on the table, but you're not going to get all the information on the table for a new company because as of yet, it's not making any money. It's new, whatever it might be. So far, we have limited information. Doesn't mean to say it's good to buy it or it's good not, or we shouldn't buy it. We don't know yet. So now we look at the fundamentals. We look at the balance sheet. We first of all look at the revenue. Well, the revenue has been steadily moving up, which is what we want to see. A new business, we want to see it moving up. 2020, 2 million, 2.8 million, 3.9 million, 4.8 million. As you can see, it's been steadily moving up. Then it went sideways. Now, if that accompanies capital expenditure, we can live with that. If that was because no one liked the product, then we don't like it. So during this range here of flattened out revenue, did we have capital expenditure? Yes, we did. We started to spend on the business. So we can forgive that as being, this is a period of time of investing. But we're now moving up. On the most recent range, we're up 27%, 9.1. In September 29th, great. The next estimate will be December the 30th. We are waiting for their earnings. When they report, let me see when they're going to report. When are we expected? February 28th, a few weeks from now. And if this is popular, I'll cover the earnings. If my members want it, I'll cover the earnings. We're going to get an earnings and find out if this number actually came about. Did we beat on earnings? There is the, there it is there. We're expected on February 28th. That's when we're expecting to have the earnings, okay? You can see on the last range, we beat we went up a lot. We want to see if we're going to do well on earnings. Now, it says expected on the 28th. It's too far out to be sure about the date of the earnings. But if we want to cover, if my members want it, I'll cover it, okay? So if we beat on earnings, this could be good for the stock, continually going up, all right? Operating income. On the most recent range, we're up 7%. Still losing money, but moving up in the right direction. We like that. Net income, same thing, going down, but now we're moving up, +7 on the most recent range. Okay, so we're spending money, we're investing, new company, but we are improving. So far, financials are showing some improvement. Operating cash flow on the most recent range is down 80%. We've spent a lot of money recently. So we want to check what they've spent the money on. Capital expenditure, we can see, has been increased. So they're spending it on capital expenditures. What is capital expenditure? Capital expenditure is building out the business. Capital expenditure is building out the business, not just spending it on wages, but capital expenditure is when you're investing in the business. That's okay. We can do that. Now then, let's look at the balance sheet. Balance sheets don't lie. Balance sheets tell you if it's a good business or not, or at least it has the potential of being a good business. Balance sheet breakdown. We got 31 million 31 million of assets. Okay. 14 million is cash. Very, very nice. Not just assets as in equipment we've already bought, but we've actually got 14 million in cash. It's cash positive business. Let's now see what the liabilities are. We don't want more liabilities than assets. We don't. It's less than half, which is good. And 11.1 million. Let's see how much of that is in debt. Because remember, we've got 15 million, 14.9 in cash. So, long-term debt, we have no long-term debt. We have no long-term debt or short-term debt, and we have 14.9 million in assets, in cash. Now I can see why the stock price is up. Even though it's potentially overvalued on paper, it's got plenty of cash, no debt, not going anywhere. This will have, in a few moments when I share with you, a good solvency score. I haven't seen it yet. I'm looking at what you're looking at. When I scroll down, I would expect to see a decent solvency. And I think we will, which means the business isn't going bust, which means we can safely invest in it. Okay, so we've got no long-term debt, no short-term debt, looking good. Balance sheet is good. Efficiency of the company. 54% margin. Now, we don't know if that margin is good or not. Sounds great, but we want to compare it to the competition. And in a minute, I will give you the link for the competition. And you can decide whether it's good. Its balance sheet is good. It's got higher margins or lower margins than the competition. That gives us our moat. The margin is regarded as the moat. In other words, if we've got all this profit in our product, we can we can sell less and protect ourselves. We don't have to reduce prices. We've got a good moat, a good margin of error, if you like. So the business has a good margin. But again, I don't know if it is a good margin because every business has a different margin. Auto companies have much smaller margins. They don't make much money on selling cars. They make money on servicing cars. So we have to look at that. Operating margin is improving, most recent range. Net margin is improving on the most recent range. You can see it there. It's improving. Things are getting better. There you go. I was right. Profitability score is 27, which is all ticks here. Not huge amounts of profitability. We're not bright green because the company is spending money and they're investing. So our profit isn't massive, but our margins are okay because if we look at here, exceptional growth, positive growth profit, ROIC is increasing, and exceptional one-year growth. This is very, very good. Very, very good. We don't make a lot of money right now, but we are making money and we will make more as time goes by when the capital expenditure comes down. What's important, though, is the solvency. Nobody wants to invest on a business that is going to go bankrupt. Like I said, it'd be pretty good. It is pretty good. It's not bright green. It's not Amazon. It's not Apple. It's not a bright green 80, 90%, but it's 54%. So for a new company, this is good. Low DE, long-term solvency, short-term solvency. The only thing that's down is low Altman score. Otherwise, would be probably 60%. This is good. So far, it's a buy from me. It's a buy from me because we've got plenty of cash. We've got no debt, no long-term, no short-term. It's a product I think people are going to want. It's got good margins. We think we need to compare it. It's showing the valuation is expensive, but I can see now why it's done that. I think we've explained that. So it's a buy from me at this stage. Okay, Wall Street. Again, because of the lack of information, we can't give it any numbers. Now that can be in our favor. We don't like investing without information. That's a bad place to be. However, it does also mean no one's looking at it, no one's paying attention. It could be a massive potential going forward. There is no information. We only have downside because we think it's overvalued. But from looking at it, The potential is there. The growth rate is potentially there. So there's potential here. That's all I can say at this stage. Now, the competition. We spoke about the competition. You can see here, there's Zebra Technologies, Trimble, and there are others. We can scroll through this list here. All right? You can see Keysight Technologies, Teledyne, Trimble, Zebra, National, Coherent, Cognex, Navanta, Vontier. These are regarded as the competition for the stock. And I can give you the link to all of these and you can go and compare and you can see, how the competition stacks up. Now, ownership. Who's buying on the inside? Are directors selling it or are they buying it? Good news. People on the inside are buying it. During the last 12 months, Wrap Technologies insiders bought $59,000 worth of stock. Not a lot, but looking at the market cap is reasonable. If that was Apple, they could be doing that in a blink of an eye. It doesn't mean anything. For this company, it shows some positivity. It looks like they've not sold any. Cohen, Scott bought 4,000. No one has sold anything. Just buying. That's very good. That's very good. And also what we don't want to see buying like yesterday. We want to be buying it before insiders buy more. We saw insiders buy it some months ago, then it's been quiet without anything going on, which is good because what comes next? More buying? Well, if it's positive, it does. We don't know. But what we don't want is someone just bought it yesterday because now we've kind of missed the boat, if you like. I mean, it's still good, obviously, but we prefer to buy it before anybody else. So that's positive. This is positive as well. Okay. Now then, there's no news. No one's talking about it. No one's covering it. There's no sentiment, which means by me doing it, it will rank number one, and I'm giving it a fairly good buy. A fairly good buy. Not the best deal in the world, not that amazing because there are some metrics missing, but looks potentially as a good opportunity, potentially. So the balance sheet looks good. And as always, that happens when I talk about this on a small stock. Look at the stock go up. It just shot up 5% after hours. This happens on a very small company, particularly when I'm positive on it. So don't be surprised if this goes up over the next few days. That's very, very good. That literally just happened. 5% in the last few moments. Remember, it's a very small cap. It's only got a market cap of 167 million. It doesn't take much to move a company like this if the sentiment is pretty good. So we played a part there. Again, I'm not buying the stock. I'm not promoting the stock, even though my message is positive, and I will rank number one, and this review will rank number one, and it's generally positive. Don't be surprised if the stock goes up, and there it is. It's gone up 5% in after hours. Okay. Short interest. How did I miss it? How did I miss that? It went up. Yeah. No surprise, really. Yeah. Anyway, 13.21%. 13.21%. We do have a lot of short interest. Not enough for excessive short squeeze. You need high volume. And what do we mean by high volume? Well, if we look at the average volume, oh, hang on. The average volume of this stock is 788,000. The volume today is half of that. So no, we don't have enough volume for a short squeeze. And we need 20% at least for that to happen as well. So we're not in short territory, but what we are in is the stock being driven down. So we have negative pressure on the stock. Nothing actually to blow it up though. All right, that might come in time, but it isn't there yet. So there is nothing else to share as far as a review is concerned. The only thing left to do now is give my final thoughts and a back test. Here is the back test. If you're going to invest, you've always got to compare to the S&P. People often say to me, why would you do that on a small company like this? Because I'm an investor. And if I'm going to put some money in, I want to know what happens if I invested in something else. Well, If we look at this, if we put $10,000 in the S&P, since 2019, we've doubled our money. We're at 20,000. We double our money every 7 years on average in the S&P. Wrap Technologies, 10 grand will be worth about 10 grand. In fact, 9,849, 841. It's gone sideways. As you can see, very much more volatile. In 2020, very interesting. We went up with COVID. So it has the element of going up during external macro conditions, maybe during a war, maybe due to unrest. Makes perfect sense when you think about the product, right? That kind of makes sense. It went up during COVID, it popped up, very volatile, and so on and so forth. Let me give you my final thoughts on this stock. So, Wrap Technologies, at the moment, those that are looking at it on a basic plan will assume that it's too expensive. It's overbought. That is an opportunity for those of you that want to buy it. Let me explain what I mean. If you've got intrinsic value, a lot of gamblers, a lot of uninformed investors who don't look at details will only look at that. We've done a poll, 85% of you don't even read balance sheets. And I would be surprised, and I wouldn't be surprised that most people just invest on looking at intrinsic values by reviews from The Motley Fool or Jim Cramer or stuff like that. Very basic stuff. And they'll go, no, too expensive, I ain't buying it. Now, it might be too expensive. However, until you do a deep dive like I've just done, you won't actually realize, actually, the balance sheet shows they have plenty of cash, no long-term debt, no short-term debt. And as I predicted, because it's a low float company, very small, with my review, it's already popped up 5% in the making of this video, let alone what it will do tomorrow. So, is it a buy from me? Well, I'm not going to pump it. I'm not going to say you should buy it. I'm not buying it only because I stay out of all stocks. I only own the S&P because I want to be known as a guy who's not pumping and dumping stock. No one's paid me from the company to promote it. No one's paid me to promote this in any way whatsoever. However, on basic level, it looks expensive. It looks too expensive. But if you read the balance sheet, this does look like a potential buy from me. I'm not going to give it a massive buy, but I'm not going to say it's rubbish either. I think there's a potential here. I think the product is needed. I think the company are well balanced. They seem to have a good balance sheet with good risk management. They don't have any long-term debt. They have potentially a great earnings coming up, which in end of February will cover, and I think you could find that this, if it beats earnings, then and we start becoming cash positive, we might fill in the gaps here and find that we have a gem. So it's a potential buy from me, potential opportunity. My suggestion is, and this is not financial advice, if you like this sector, you think it's worth a buy, tell yourself, how much money do you want to invest? Let's say you have $1,000. You buy $500 worth today, wait for a pullback after this news fades out. My video will come out tomorrow. Give it 24 hours. It will then drop. It will rise and then sell off, because I will be suggesting anyone take profit. If we can get a 20% profit like we had with Momentous and like we had with Plug, I will be suggesting take profit. It will then fall back. So then you can buy on the way down, and now you can take your seed money out, and now it's all free money. You've got free money just sitting there going up or down or sideways. That's how I would play it. But that's not a suggestion because I'm not in the stock. I'm just giving you the information. What you do is up to you. If you like my review, please do tap the like button and subscribe to my channel. If you want to access Alpha Spread, which is what I use, it's the most advanced algorithmic software, click above my head down here. If you get it and you use the free plan, I don't get any benefit from that whatsoever, but you can review stocks like I do. If you decide to get the premium plan and want to review all the stocks like I do, I get a small commission when you do that. But Alpha Spread do not pay me to make the reviews. They do not pay me to do this. And you can have a free plan where I get absolutely nothing from that either. Click above my head for those links down in the description. Over here, you'll see all the reviews for Alpha Spread that I do. I've done over nearly 70 reviews now. I will review stocks for free for my members. It's one of the perks that you get as a member. But that's it. There's my review for Radiant Smile. I hope you're smiling. I hope you liked it. I wish you the very best. The stock is rallying. I look forward to being number one on the stock within a couple of days, maybe even by tomorrow. There you go. Over here, down here, down here. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. All right, there you go. I'm exhausted. I've been going all day. I'm done. I'm taking Leah out for dinner. It's her birthday tonight. I hope you all enjoyed the review. Am I going to buy the S&P? Yes, I've got $100,000 to spend. There is my buying power. The S&P has dropped exactly like I said it would, exactly what I want it to do. Let me end these reviews. Momentous, no surprise. It's continued to go up. On our review, the analysis was very positive on Momentous. I hope you've taken profit. It did sell off after Jerome Powell spoke. I honestly think even if you think it can run forever and ever, to take 80% profit would be a good idea. It's gone back up again, which is nice. Sidda Space has gone up as well. We know that this was oversold. Jose Quintana, great review, Martin, as always. Thank you for all you do. Crystal Ball. Jose Quintana, that super chat is very nice.
Great review, Martin, as always. Thank you for all you do. Deedle-doodled.
If it's all right with you, that $10 super chat will go towards Leah's meal tonight. I'm taking Leah out. We never go out. I'm always here working to do this, trying to grow the best channel in the world. I'm going to, that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to use your super chat with the others that I had today to take Leah out for dinner tonight. So thank you very much for all your support. Thank you for the wrap review. I also own GEO Group. Jenny, thank you very much indeed. Awesome review. Confirmed my already existing interest in the company. Now, Radiant Smile. What you can do now is when that review comes out, which it will come out tomorrow after the opening bell. I will have it come out tomorrow after the opening bell. It might even come out, if I finish the show now, I will get it out within the next 2 hours. When you see it come out, if you've rung the bell and notified, you'll see it come out. I'll also post it on my X and my Instagram and everywhere else. Whatever. When it comes out, if you want to promote the video, if you like the review, you can do what's called a super thanks under the video. This is what a super thanks is. It's when you do a comment where you do a tip on it, and it highlights the comment. So if you want to say something positive about it or about the company, I will pin it to the top. So everybody who watches the video, the comment will be your comment, not mine, yours, pinned to the top. Also, if you do a super thanks, YouTube look at it and go, hey, people are watching the video, they like the video, and they're even tipping the video. And of course, when you tip super thanks, super chat, super stickers, YouTube make a commission, about 17%. So they make money out of that. So what do? They think, hey, people are liking this video. They're doing super thanks. They suggest the video to more people. It ranks even higher. It goes higher. The stock gets more good news because I think it's a fair review. That's good. It's not like I said the stock was rubbish. Okay. So it'll do well for the company. So that's how you can rank it up. That's very easy. All right. Especially on a company that a stock that's so small. Be very, very easy. Okay. That's what that is. Right. Yes, sir. Happy birthday to the both of you. Thank you very much. Great review. Have a lovely dinner this evening. Bill. Thanks, mate. Right, I've got to go. I'm way over time. I wanted to do that review. Well, I did that review because I was super chatted to do it. Let me end the show. Let's roll the credits. I'm not going to do our big music. I just want to finish the show off, okay? I'm going to get out now, take Leah to dinner. And I'm going to try and edit this video now. So if I edit the video now, it will go out in the next 2 hours. So stand by, everybody. If you want to promote this video, I'm going to end the show now, and this video will go out in the next 2 hours. So look at it premiering on my channel, okay? I'll make that commitment now. It will go out in the next 2 hours. Look here. It'll appear on the homepage on videos. It will be here on videos in the next 2 hours if I can finish the show right now. So here we go. Roll the credits. Let's get out of here. And let's get out of here now. Taking Leah for dinner. Let's see how we ended up today. Subscribers, loads of subscribers. Bez, around the world, Ian, Lizette, Trustar, Amit, Ethan, Mark, Michael, Super Chats, Mitch NL, Jay Corey, Radiant Smile, Sensei Crypto, Jose Quintana. Lots of stars of the show today. Let's have a look. We got 56 people watched left with us now. 118 likes today. What a great day that is. Getting better and better every day. 15,000 and... Whoa! 15,078. Did that just go around like 20 subscribers? Did I see that right? Was that about 20 subscribers in one roll round? Wow, there we go. 14,000, 17,000 is our peak, but we're just after the weekend, so it's building up again. This is very, very good, and this video hasn't come out yet. So there we go. It's going to be great. Nearly 800 through the stream. This has been a great, great, great Wednesday stream. Amazing. All right. That's it from me then. I am absolutely whacked out. Have a lovely evening, Martin and Leah. Thank you ever so much. I'll look out for this premiere in 2 hours. Everybody watch it. Everybody join in. Blow it up. Until next time, as always, take care of your money, yourselves, your crypto, and each other. Love you all. I'm off to have dinner with Leah, my lovely wife. Bye-bye for now.